to Touching Tips, a podcast dedicated to the world of PSVR 2. My name is Karen Alive and Well, and I'll be introducing your hosts. From the west of Ireland, he is a visionary, a leader, a sensual and generous lover, as I can attest. Petrifying Pumpkins. Pumpkins was once a successful businessman before a tragic incident left him with stage 2 ligma of the mind. No longer able to run his multinational POG corporation, Pumpkins turned to his other passion, PSVR. Hence this channel and later podcast were born. Pumpkins is famous all over the world thanks to the various Easter eggs dedicated to him in PSVR exclusive Firewall 0 Hour. Most famously, if you go to the hangar map in the air control tower, you will see radar screens with various aircraft designations that, when combined, spell out Petrifying Pumpkins. It really does make him better than you. From Mexico, he has many names: El Chupacabra, El Fuego, El Pasión. But around here we call him Mr. 777 or Jackpot. Mr. 777 moved to the United States as a wee lad. A former Xbox fan, Jackpot gave up on Team Green when he discovered the future is virtual reality, and has been on PlayStation since. Jackpot lives with his mother, in her basement. She reached out to Pumpkins, begging him to let Jackpot be a co-host as she worries about his lack of social communication skills, as you will soon see for yourselves. He turned to marijuana at a young age and has reached a stage where if he were to ever stop smoking, the shock to his system would kill him immediately. Jackpot has a heavily stained pillow that he calls Amanda. He believes that she is real and that he is in a long-term relationship with her. His catchphrase is, bitch. And finally, all the way from the frigid wastes of Canada, comes Muzz. Muzz has a passion for maple syrup and discussing PSVR 2. He once got lost in the frozen tundra of northern Canada with his best friend. The ordeal was harrowing and led to Muzz eating the remains of his friend in order to survive. Shortly after, Muzz turned to VR gaming as a way to escape the horrors of the reality he leaves every time he puts on the headset. It's worth noting that while Muzz maintains his best friend was dead before he began to consume him, later studies of the remains hinted at the possibility that the friend died from infections that were caused from bites, though due to a handling error, the evidence was deemed inadmissible and Muzz walked free. He also has a cat. Without further ado, let the show begin. I've been Karen Alive and Well, and I will now hand you over to the strong, sexy hands of Pumpkins. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and all that usual YouTube shite.
What the fuck is this?
Test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Mic checks. Uh-oh. Why is that not outputting? Can you hear them, lads, in the chat? Because they're... Yeah, we'll keep eating then. Alright. I get the feeling... Oh, they can't hear me. Can't hear you, Pumpkins. Why? Microphone. Can only hear you. Which one is it, you fuckers? Can't hear the boys. Okay, they can't hear you. Thanks for letting me know. This shouldn't be happening because it is set to output. But it shouldn't is what I'm saying. Test, can you speak again? What am I doing wrong here? It should be monitor and output. Can't hear Amanda. Oh, I think I remember now what I'm doing wrong. Sorry. Apologies, give me a sec. It's the Discord setting. It's been a while since we've done touching tips, okay? I gotta go in here, I have to go to voice and video, and then this output device has to be this one.
God, you broke the cameras.
There we go. Yeah, the cameras will be fixed in a sec. I had to go into the settings.
Oh my God.
All right, cameers are back. So now can you hear them?
Everybody's
test,
gone. Everybody's
test.
gone.
Hear
1,
us,
2,
Say
3.
hear us.
Test,
They're all
test.
gone.
1, 2, 3.
Is everything good
Got him.
now?
There we go. Apologies.
Yeah,
This is why we do tests. This is why we do tests. All right.
You're supposed to do this.
And well, if you were here on time, we maybe would have done that test sooner.
You always make
Jackpot.
noise. That's
We're
always your
literally
excuse.
2 minutes late because of you, like we always are. And Muzz and I, we've been talking about us. We've been thinking about, telling you that we're starting half an hour earlier anymore to get you on time.
You're a bitch.
We have to do
Well,
something.
you can't now. You just
We have to
ruined
do
it. Why did you say it?
I'm just trying to wake up, trying to fucking, give him a wake up call. Hopefully that will be a shock to the system.
You never say you never say what time you want us to join. You just say be here.
I've said it at the very beginning, at 15 minutes beforehand.
15.
15. I've said that. This is not news to you. This is your stoner. This is my cousin Justin, or cousin Badger. Also a stoner. Also an unreliable man like yourself when it comes to the details and not remembering little details.
What?
Like that.
I'm reliable.
And what do you have in common is that you're both on the marijuana.
Loco's talking.
Oh,
You don't even
no.
remember. You were like, no, look at this. Questicles didn't tell us about breachers, the skins. And then somebody had to fact check you on the
You
fucking
didn't, and
comments
he was
on
wrong, and he was wrong. That fact
was
check
not
didn't.
wrong.
No, he was wrong. You can't
He
unlock
told you
all
that.
the skins by grinding. You can only get 4.
No, but he
You can
told
only
you.
get 4.
Anyways, liar.
You never
It's like
told
I'm
me.
between a
Welcome
married
back.
couple.
Welcome back.
No.
Welcome back.
All
If
right,
you're
welcome back. Is right. Happy New Year. It's been.
I'm between a bickering married couple. That's what I am. I'm just right in the middle.
It's been 3 weeks or so since we last did an episode, and let me just say how much I've missed Muzz and Jackpot, even though I've played with them regularly on streams since then. But lads, how you been?
Good. Been playing a couple of games. I'm finally getting around to playing, that Horizon Call of the Mountain game.
Damn, launch game.
Oh,
Yeah, I figured maybe I should play it before the 1-year anniversary of the headset.
How far in are
I'm
you?
liking it. I'm pretty far. I think I'm at least halfway. I'm liking it.
You
I
like
don't know
it?
what all the
Yeah.
complaints. Yeah, I think it's great.
Is it because you know there's lots of climbing though? Like you kind of expecting the climbing?
I expected it, but I think the climbing is kind of cool. It's kind of like a more of a chill game. I find. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like stressful or anything, but it's just really cool to just see all the scenery and stuff.
And it's pretty. It's pretty as fuck as well.
But yeah, very much is.
Jackwell, what have you been up to?
is that game on sale already or no? How much is that game?
It has to be. That shit was like full
Yeah.
price when it came out.
It's probably been on sale. Like I had it with my headset. I bought the bundle. They came with it, and I'm just now playing it.
But even if it goes like half price, you're probably still going to think it's too much because, it
Yeah,
was
it was-
€80. I think I paid maybe 70 or 80. I can't remember what.
How much is that in dollars?
I think it's like
70,
10.
60?
Probably if it's 80 for me, I think it's 70 for you because your tax isn't included or some shit like that. So I don't know.
I think the best, my favorite part of it is when you're talking to people and you if you put your hand close
yeah.
to their face, they do like that weird recoil
that's
and look at you
right.
like you're.
Staring at your finger like get that thing on my face, creep.
Yeah.
It is good.
$20.
It's worth $20. And then her fucking Aloy, the main character, is like, oh, Aloy's in this game. She appears for like one cutscene for like a minute and she's gone. Yeah, I thought she was gonna be like a companion or something. You get to look at her, get that booty. But
Yeah,
don't.
because you always have like the highest of expectations in games, unrealistic.
That's not unrealistic.
And then that's why you end up
That's
crying
not
every single
unrealistic.
time about every game that you're
That's a
excited
small
about.
little thing that they were bigging up. They were like, oh, you're gonna meet Aloy. She's gonna be in the game. And
Sony are snakes. You should be like,
well,
wait.
listen, she
that
was in
can't
the
be right.
game. They technically were correct, but she was there. They couldn't afford the voice actors' lines, so they had to get rid of her, cut her loose.
That was half that's half their money right
Yeah,
there.
budget gone. Anyway, let me catch up on. Sorry, Jackpot. What have you been up to, except for eating Mexican bread?
Delicious. Breachers. Excited the Breachers came out. That's
Yeah.
been fun. New Year's, nothing. Been playing flag games, not as much as before, but I used to play Battlefield with LSB quite a bit. And I've been trying the finals. LSB doesn't like it because he's a bitch.
Badger loves
Like
that
you,
game.
he's like, he goes in, he's like, I don't really like this game. It's like, yeah, because you don't do the tutorial, you don't know what you're supposed to do, so of course it's not fun.
That was one
but-
time. And the stream told me not to do the tutorial, but anyway, go on.
I'm talking about LSB, but
I
you're
know,
also
I
a
know.
bitch like
I'm
that.
not. No, I'm not.
But yeah, that game is fun. I like that game. I like the destruction and all that. So I've been playing a little bit of that.
All right. Well,
Pretty fun.
you'll have something in common with Badger. He was trying to get me into it as well, so I probably will download this soon
It's
enough.
free.
I know, but
3
I want to.
players.
I need to free up space on my hard drive. Is the problem, or the solid state drive?
Get rid of that fucking Horizon game.
It's gone. That's gone
Trash.
long ago. I want to finish the God of War Valhalla DLC, and then I can get rid of that, and then maybe I can download the finals. Anyway, I know Roy Schwartz is here. LSB is there. Killa Sam is there as well. The Wolf Craze is here. You doing Wolf Craze? HB Puppet. Nice to see you. Move Master Make. Mr. Chopped. Donnie is there. I'm sorry. I'm catching up. I'm not reading a lot of these properly, and hopefully I'll catch up on some interesting ones. Honey Badger, of course, as I said, with his hashtag Justice for First Contact Entertainment. Have I missed anyone? I think that could be... Oh, Dead Eye Dan has popped in. They're very low. Uh-oh. Okay, I missed that. Your volume is very low, lads. I've just bumped up your volume to maximum, so test that out.
Maximum. Why'd you go straight to maximum?
Because it was near, it was near maximum.
Ears.
It was near maximum.
okay.
So I was
You
like,
gotta break the ears.
all right, we'll test it out. If I have to put a gain thing on us, I will. But
Test.
I could move a little
Yes.
closer to my mic, I guess, but
Chop calling me
I
a
can
rookie.
yell.
Uh,
I can scream. if
Still
you
can't
need.
hear them. But that was a while ago. Let me go down to the very bottom where I'll get more fresh updates.
Test.
Test. That was an old comment, says Dan. How are they sounding now, Dan?
you're probably too loud now because you cranked
They're
them up.
fine. They're fine now? Okay, it sounds like you're
Okay.
fine. Oh shit, it's XX Rapture. Do you remember that? Remember that name? That's a First Contact Entertainment name if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Shit, that's not Kyle, is this? Are you Kyle? Remember
Says
Kyle?
I'm high as fuck right now.
Is it
High as
Kyle?
fuck?
Who
You
it is?
mean like weed high or like my volume is too high? Sorry.
That's a good,
I didn't
that's a
mean
good
to-
question. You can never know. You can never
Is that
know.
a compliment or am I too loud like on the on the volume? What do you mean?
He says he's going to
Anyway,
melt
sorry.
the cup if you start drug testing. Acid piss. And Rapture says, been a while, my friend. It has been a while. I've been wondering what happened to you.
Okay.
You know, sleepless nights,
Lower the volume.
Rapture. Not exactly sleepless nights, but you know, I have been wondering, were you still with them? Because I don't know, obviously, the ins and the outs, the day to day. I don't know how long you were there. Okay, so I think the volume's all good, I hope.
Yeah,
Kilisama
well,
says, I think we should
volume
start
was
my own
fine. It
channel
was a
to do
compliment.
it.
Thank you, Honey Badger.
All those accomplishments and can't set up audio on a stream. I'll tell you, audio is the most tricky thing when it comes to streaming, especially with other people. And it's just, anyone could do this if it wasn't for the audio. You know, that's where the brain power is going. Anyway, listen, I'm talking absolute shit. Volume is fine. I don't even have PSVR 2, and I was pissed about First Contact closing, says Honey Badger. Well, there you go. Honey Badger knew what it meant to me, though. You know, he knew how special Firewall was/is to me in First Contact, of course. So we suppose we'll just jump right into that topic, seeing as we've already started. And Rapture here as well, saying, long story for another day. Left a little while back. Okay. Always lurking. Your streams are entertaining. Well, thank you very much. And I hope you've moved on to something, you know, I don't want to say better or anything to insult anyone, but I hope you moved on to something and got yourself something at least as good as First Contact, if not better, and that you're happy out.
Yeah, I can't remember. Was he one of the devs, or like was he a game designer, or what?
You don't remember Kyle?
I remember Kyle. I
was
just
it-
can't remember what it was his role. Like what did he do
Is it
there?
an environmental artist?
Okay,
I
environment.
could be wrong now. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. It's a while ago and my brain is like a goldfish.
Yeah, hopefully he found another spot to join up
That's
with.
right. And hopefully a lot of the other First Contact Entertainment people have found other places because they closed down. Obviously, this is old news, but it's been 3 weeks since we did the podcast. So the last time we did the podcast, we didn't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Since then, they've shut down. They're just like kind of out of nowhere. Right before Christmas as well. So the timing is another thing that was awful. And they're like, listen, by the end of the year, First Contact Entertainment is no more. They didn't go into an awful lot of details about what that means in terms of, you know, Firewall. What's the future Firewall Ultra like? Because that game is only 4 months old and it's a live service game, and we kind of all expect that game to have years left. But now all of that is up in the air, and it's probably even more likely that we're probably not getting any more content or anything, even if the servers stay up. It's probably going to be as it is now. But your thoughts on this, gentlemen?
Sad days. Sad days.
Jack, what does
I mean,
No, it sucks. I mean, I just didn't. I mean, nobody expected the. I'm trying to adjust the lighting. Nobody expected that. I didn't expect that to happen, honestly. And it sucks. Like you said, hopefully everybody already got a job, and who hasn't had a job, he gets a job soon, because I think, yeah, it's pretty messed up. And one thing we know about them is that they're really talented. So I'm sure they're very well known, hopefully, I'm assuming, in the industry, so they can, get picked up by somebody. And I'm interested to see where they go and what type of stuff they add, to the games and the studios that they go. But yeah, obviously it sucks. I mean, that's how we started meeting each other years and years ago. It was because of Firewall. And it just sucks because everybody, in the studio, from at least us, they've been nice to everybody, at least to us, to you. So it's just very sad that should happen. To be honest,
Yeah.
Sucks.
And we did hear
and
that.
it was also
Sorry,
fast. It all just happened very fast and at a horrible time too, right before Christmas. And it's just like,
yeah,
you didn't even really have time to like process. Like, wait, what? It's closing? When? Just in a few weeks? Holy crap! Like it's like so like, bam! It's just done.
And like a few days before that, the 2 new maps just dropped, and I was like, oh, the operation was just about to drop as well. I was like, okay, here comes the second wind, and then gone.
Yeah. When it was getting a lot better, right? Like a lot of the issues that we were complaining about were fixed. Like I even forget at the beginning, the aiming was very weird, and then they fixed that, and the game was just completely different.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks because of that. It was going in the right direction. It's just
just needed more time.
Fortunate.
And
needed more time and more people to like wait it out until they got it all run how it was meant to be, but just not enough player base to hang on.
Honey Badger says sad days. Quoting was powerful stuff. Says Honey Badger. Infinity Lefty says I never played Firewall 2. The first one I played. No, he's right. You are right. Sorry. First one I played nonstop for like 3 years. That's how I found Pumpkin, says Infinity Lefty, and I'm grateful. Blessed. #blessed. The Mad Hasser, how you doing? Says, do you think they closed doors a little early? I mean, it was 4 months. Did they offer a free trial or anything to entice people on the fence? They absolutely closed it too early. 100%.
Way too early.
And I have to blame Sony on this. Obviously, I know that the issues with the game, like some of that falls on First Contact as well. Although, like, why wasn't there a beta? I really want to know. Was that a Sony thing or was that a First Contact thing? I don't know what the reason is there.
It has to be a Sony thing. Why wouldn't they want to do a beta? It makes no sense that they wouldn't want to do a beta.
Well, how does Honor and Doozy get a beta? And
that's what I'm saying.
Firewall Ultra doesn't. Like, so.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not. But I don't think it's because Hess or whoever it is in there was like, nah, let's not do a beta. Let's just roll it out and let them test the game. I don't think that's what they were done. I don't know what. Nobody knows, and I don't think we'll ever know what happened in there. But there was a lot of weird stuff, decisions like that I think if we know if the beta was, look, all these games getting delayed. If the beta was having the issues that the game had that we couldn't play at the beginning, we're like, hey, the fucking aiming, we don't like this. The grenades, we don't like it. I feel like they would have been like, all right, let's fucking delay the game, and we fix those things. And then when the game comes out, the game is gonna come out a lot more how it is right now, and people wouldn't got nuts because let's be honest, we know that the expectations that we had, and we, like you say, we throw more trash on this game where their expectations are higher, but it's because this is the game that, the game for PSVR 1, and this was supposed to be the game for PSVR 2, right? Like the system, so like the one that everybody was going to be playing all day, every day, like we did with 0 Hour. So I think I don't think it's First Contact that said let's not do a beta. And I think that was one of the major things that that fucked them over, because we would have complained like, fuck, we wanted to play now. But if they would have said, hey, we're gonna delay, especially because of these things that you guys that were testing the game told us,
Yeah.
dude, I think it would have been a lot better. I just don't know. It wouldn't. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why Sony
maybe-
would not allow it.
Maybe the success of Firewall 0 Hour, which never had a beta either, maybe Sony were like, well, the first one never needed a beta and it was still successful, so why should we do it with the second one? I don't know. I don't know who makes decisions there at Sony.
Like,
Who knows?
But
yeah.
It's like it launched with too many things wrong all at once. And if it would have just been like one or maybe two of those problems, it might have like made its way through it and fixed the bugs and stuff. But it was just too much compounding on each other, like on top of the bugs, on top of like the no matchmaking right from the get-go,
Right.
and then also getting hit with like the really different controls. And like multiple, like so many things all at once that you're just getting hit by, and it didn't have a smooth launch at all. Like it was just
the matchmaking
was almost
really bad for like, was it 2 months?
That was a
before they
big one,
properly
yeah.
fixed the matchmaking. Like it was.
Yeah.
that
I
was
feel like the beta would have fixed a lot of this stuff. The beta would have fixed, or a lot of this and delayed the game.
But at the
weird.
same time as having like such a brutal start with the matchmaking not working, then you also had to like adjust to like the ADS and like all the different like eye tracking grenades and all that kind of stuff as well. So like if it would have been working right from the get-go, one or the other, like if the matchmaking worked right from the get-go, maybe people wouldn't have been so hard on the other thing, like the ADS and like using the other different controls. But it's just like the disappointment from that on top of the matchmaking not working, it's just it was too much.
Shit. It was
too much to crawl out of, and
the backlash was massive, and like the community like really turned on them as well. If you go to like, I think the biggest PSVR community is probably Reddit. If you went there, like you can't say a good thing about Firewall there, or you'll be
I doubt it.
You'll be shot to death. Honey Badger says, from the outside looking in perspective, it was a fun game to watch a stream of too. Yeah, it was definitely one of the better ones to watch in terms of like, the teamwork is fucking, you need to be turned on, the communication needs to be on point if you want to win, like, and one of the better visual looking ones as well. So that's just another shame that is, what happened has happened. Tasuki is here. How you doing? Tasuki says, it was so shocking because it was right after we got all this new content. Exactly. So it was like a real sucker punch, because you had the good vibes, the good feelings, like, oh shit, we're back on track. Let's go. I've got a video pinned as my, my main video that somebody sees when they come to my channel. It's like, Firewall, back on track. I need to change that.
That's not aging well.
No. But yeah, that's how it felt, and then boom. But obviously, as bad as it feels for us, like imagine them losing the jobs right at Christmas and everything. So that's fucking,
Yeah, it's just like it's like even if it was like a Sony decision, you think they would have just like hung off for like another month or two just to get past Christmas. I mean, just like such a bizarre decision, like right then.
Sony is fucking lizards. They're ruthless. They don't care. They don't know stall
I think
over that.
they're,
And like you said, we probably won't have all the answers to what happened behind it and whose decisions were what and who decided the eye tracking was a good idea to put in every single facet of the game for some stupid reason. But like, just thinking how irritating it is that, like, it's like, say if they didn't have any association with Sony and they were just like their own studio, like it probably would have went better. Like they would have like had their own time frame. They would have like did their own decisions, and maybe it would have turned out better. Like if they didn't have
that would have been
ties
Solaris.
to Sony.
That was Solaris.
Well,
because Solaris is
no.
the
Right.
themselves.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think Mus is right in that sense. Like if they would have, if Sony has, I think, the money, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even without the super crazy graphics and the lighting and all that, the game is fun and the gameplay is fun. So even if they would have gone, like you said, by themselves in a way, not with Sony and all that crazy back in money, the gameplay itself, even though the graphics would have been great, I think it would have still be very popular, obviously without the issues, right?
Yeah, I mean, like it really should have just been like a slam dunk. Like there's like
Yeah, it was set up.
it
was just set up.
it
for
was
success.
it was there was like no competition at their level. All they had to do was just nail the same formula again. Like if they could have just copied and pasted like 0 hour, like exactly.
There still would have been people complaining that it was just a copy and paste. But
sure,
it would have survived as well, probably.
Yeah, I think. But
I think Firewall. I thought this game was gonna be Firewall 0 hour, just with slightly better graphics if you have a PSVR 2 and the feedback on the controllers. But I thought they were gonna just continue that game like kind of Rainbow Six Siege did, and we can still play with PSVR 1 people and all that type of stuff. I thought that was what they're gonna do, but obviously they kind of did that with their own different game, and they added this other mechanics, and I think that's what the problem is. Just too many stuff that we didn't like, plus the issues, right?
And the auto reload instead of the manual reload, which is a big problem for a lot of people.
I think that turned out to be like the least of the problems in the end, you know.
Yeah. A lot of people really didn't feel that way. I mean, like that was problem number one going into the game.
But yeah, pre-release, that was like everyone was talking about the manual reloads, and then when it came, like all the other issues were evident, it was like,
but it just so it's not so bad anymore.
It's like reload. That's low on the priority list. And honestly, I know you're both gonna call me a shill or whatever, but I prefer Firewall Ultra reloading to Breacher's reloading. Pavlov is the best, but Breacher's does this like little halfway thing that's like, I wish they would have went all the way, you know? It doesn't have the satisfying...
Well, Breacher's has the same reloading.
How does that mine?
It's like I was going to say...
Breacher's agitated with that one.
Breacher's, I find it's like just like Alvo. Alvo has the same kind of like very simplistic...
It's simple, yeah.
Like it's a very simple thing. It just has you interacting with the gun rather than pressing a button. Yeah, which, right. I mean, I think it's better than doing... I would have preferred one of those ways over just the button press.
That's fair enough. Like, I don't expect you to agree with me, but I'm just putting that up. Personally, I prefer that. But Alvo is my favorite. Or not Alvo, sorry. Pavlov is my favorite. Like when they go the full distance, I love that. Yeah. But
yeah. Like it's funny. Like going into the game. Let him cool off.
He's winding up to do something.
No, I agree. I agree with Mus. I don't agree with you. It's fine. You have your opinion. It's wrong.
Okay.
But you have it. I don't understand how you're like. I like that. You know, I prefer the button press over the. Right. So if you like a half, but you might as well go all the way then.
But that's what I'm saying. I wish they went all the way. Because it's like when you're fucking if you compare
this is more immersion.
If you compare it to having sex, all right, so your penis is in the vagina, and then what if you're halfway through the sex and then it's like, oh, that's it. That's not good.
So you prefer not put it in at all?
I need the climax. I need the you know. That's what I need.
Your mental gymnastics.
What a perfect analogy.
Thank you, Muzz.
Listen, I agree with Muzz.
Recognizes real over here.
I prefer Pavlov, but if you play Onward, I think that is more even a step forward than Pavlov when it comes down to realistic reloading.
Okay.
And I'm surprised that game doesn't come or hasn't. You know, we don't hear about it coming to PSVR 2 because
Mesa bought them. Mesa bought the devs behind that, so that's why. But the Contractors game. Sorry.
Yeah, but the Contractors game is not. No offense. It's similar to Alvo, which is nothing bad, but it's just fast paced. There's not reloading like manually as nice, in my opinion, or as realistic or immersive as Pavlov or Onward.
Okay. But it's fun. Ghost of Tabora will give Pavlov some. They'll give some competition for the reloading and realism. Yeah, even maybe a step further. Probably a step further than Pavlov and realism.
The VR aspect on that game is really cool.
Honey Badger says, I do think the controls and reloading, etc., hurt the game at launch. I watched a few different reviews, and that seemed to be a common theme. Yeah, a lot of people were kind of like confused, especially if you watch the IGN one. They're like, well, why didn't they use the motion controls more?
Yeah.
And stuff. Donnie says, I hate we're not going to get maps like Warehouse and Shoot House that have been redone for the new console.
I know. It's like... I wonder how many
Yeah.
of them were close to being done too. Like, I wonder if they were
Yeah.
like far away or
At least I got a
so
snow map.
aggravating.
At least I finally got a snow map right at the end.
Got a snow
I'll
map.
always have it. Infinity Lefty says, "Do you guys remember Frank? He had a YouTube channel and then started working for First Contact Entertainment. I haven't seen him in years. Hope he's doing well." Yes, I've been speaking to him recently, actually, and I'm trying to organize like an interview with them to try and talk about as much as possible as he's able to. I don't know if we'll get him on Touch and Tips or if I'll do like a separate like video with just an interview. It depends on how we work it out. But I need to like prepare questions.
Whatever he's comfortable with, I guess. If he's gonna do it.
Probably by yourself because I'll probably ruin it. I'll ask him all this stuff. Like, he's not allowed to say it.
Well, if he can't say it,
Because
he
he's
just
not allowed.
won't say it.
Because
like,
I don't know. He's probably not allowed to say certain stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suspect like loads of the questions will like be like, no, can't say that, can't say that. But you still might get some kind of what's the word? Not information, but something along those lines. Whatever.
Anyways, don't you have a thing on the Discord to ask questions to Frank?
Yes, I did.
Intuition.
Intuition.
That's what he was trying to say.
It doesn't feel right
English
either.
is your first language, right?
It doesn't feel right either. Anyway, Killer Sam says mainstream media were heavily negative just because there wasn't a manual reload. But yeah, people I suppose have got it in their head that if you're doing a VR, then you do the manual reload. Matt Hazard
that
says.
Also, oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was gonna say, like, leading up into the game development, like, wouldn't they have like kind of put feelers out there and like looked at like chats and stuff about like what people would prefer and not prefer, like if there was like a really big deal to have manual reload or not? Like, it's like kind of like if so many people were like almost unanimously like for having the manual reload rather than a button press.
Yeah.
Like how did they miss that? Like how did they not like realize like that the overwhelming consensus of like VR owners now want to have the manual reload.
The only excuse I can think for that is that, Firewall 0 Hour, I know they were using an aim controller, but they didn't, everybody was cool enough with the manual or the automatic reloads of Firewall 0 Hour, and that's their first game, so that's what we do, and that's what they know us for, and, we'll be safe enough doing that.
It was
like
either
a little bit of groundwork, a little bit of like putting the feelers out before they started making decisions like that would have maybe
I think
showed them the other way.
For me, stuff like that, it's not like obvious, but it kind of is obvious that, I mean, it's a VR game. It's not PSVR 1. We like, for the most part, not everybody, but we like immersion, right? To feel immersed. So I don't know. I feel like they probably, I remember we talked about this a long time ago. We talked about this manual reload and we knew it was not going to happen. And I think Hess put something like manual reload or playing the game is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Speaking about and for me, that's one of the most fun parts about when I play a game like Pavlov is when I reload the gun. It's very satisfying, right?
And getting good at it. Getting good at it
because it's hard.
Yeah.
So for me, that was kind of weird. Like either that's his personal preference or he's just, trying to say whatever because he wants to stand by his decision. So I don't know much because for me it seems kind of obvious, like manual reload or at least partial manual reload. So it might just be decision because that's just what he wanted to do, or maybe money wise because it costs money. I'm assuming to make. I mean, I don't know, but
probably not. It's just a decision. But the weird thing is like if they wanted to stick with it because like that's how they did it in 0 Hour, fine. Like, but make the whole game like 0 Hour.
Yeah.
They just took the one part that was like 0 Hour and kept that.
Everything else though is like the eye track.
Yeah, everything else was changed.
Like you mean the eye track and stuff like yeah.
Yeah. I would like if you're gonna give me the button press reload, then give me like everything exactly like Firewall 0 Hour. Don't just give me the button press reload and then change like everything. Like
in their defense for all the eye track and stuff, that was never done before. So maybe they're like, oh, we're gonna break new ground. We're gonna do something that's never been done before.
Yeah.
But come on,
away.
Okay.
They got carried away.
The way that it seems to me is like this game when it was in development, nobody else besides the development team saw this game or play this game because we, as first time playing this game, okay, yeah, cool. The eye stuff is cool, but when throwing grenades, it just doesn't work. You can say, I can make it work, but it's just not. You can force it, but it's just not natural, right? So you would expect like the manual reload that if you were to have testing people that play VR games and you put 10 people to play firewall testing, they're gonna be like the majority of people. I'm assuming they're gonna be like, "Whoa, this grenade stuff is kind of weird. I don't know if people are gonna like it." Hey, this manual reload button press, people might not. You know what I mean? I feel like the majority of people would kind of give them that idea. So I feel like this game, because if you're developing the game, I'm assuming they're fucking beast at it and they're like, oh, look, throwing fucking grenades and fucking shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know, dude. Again, we will never know, but that's what it seems to me. This game was never seen by somebody outside that was like, hey, this is not, I don't think this is going to work, you know, or a lot of people. I think that's why the beta, man, the beta would have really, really saved the game. I think it would have saved the game, dude, to be honest.
Yeah. If they would have had a beta, they would have been able to delay it and like work out the stuff that people want and take out the stuff that people are overwhelmingly
over this game. We would have waited as long as it would have taken for this game to be the way that.
But then again, they're on Sony's time frame, so we don't even know like how that
probably
works.
Had a limited budget. Maybe it was already delayed. Yeah, for all we know, behind the scenes.
Maybe it should have been a release date.
The amount of time I put into that game, I still have no success with the grenades. Like it's just not just. It's just not something I can get used to.
First time. I had to pray the Hest. I literally prayed before the Hest, and it worked. So.
All right.
But for all its faults, it still had the core fun, which is the sad part. It was still there, buried under the.
But like they were getting, the problems were starting to be addressed, and it's like, okay, we're getting there, and the train is moving.
Yep.
We're going to the right direction. Matt Hazard says they should have had a deal where if the game isn't a hit on PSVR 2, drop it on Quest 3 and PC VR after 12 months. I don't know.
But it would have been a hit
on a Quest 3, and if we went to PC VR, like PC VR is kind of dead, you know.
What? You're fucking stupid.
PC me.
Yes, who else? Muzz is not. Muzz is smart.
Are you telling me PC VR is thriving? I know this and the mod thing has come along and that's changed things a bit, and we'll talk about that soon.
Because computers are cheaper now, graphics cards are cheaper, especially you can get into. Okay, you don't understand nothing. You can get into PC VR gaming cheaper now because a lot of these graphics cards have that DLSS whatever bullshit that we might talk later about that VR mod. But yes, I think it's a little bit more popular than it was dead a couple of years ago because it's getting cheaper.
What PC VR games are selling, you know?
What do you mean? A lot of people.
What's the big seller on PC VR?
Beat Saber.
What's coming up the charts? I feel like there was Half-Life Alex and then there was nothing.
Beat Saber.
A lot of people,
Beat Saber was before Half-Life Alex.
A lot of people fuck with the mods. Believe it or not.
Yeah, but there's a dedicated PC VR crowd there, like, and I'm not saying that they don't exist, but I just feel like it doesn't seem like it's growing, you know. We'll talk more about that anyway later on as well, because that's going to come up. Donnie says, sorry for all the sniffling as well, my throat's a bit weird. HP Puppet says, aiming was good on paper, but rough when playing, especially grenades. I also think that the grenade throwing in Ultra is better than Breachers too. What are you going to do about it?
And just simple things like the menu system as well. Like it didn't have to be like it wasn't necessary to use your eye tracking.
I think the menu is like the one part where it's like, okay, eye tracking makes sense here because like you're going through things quickly or whatever.
Not the like in-game menu, like when you're switching your weapons. That's what like that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like the menu to buy weapons and all that is so fucking. I'm sorry, you know my smooth brain. It was so fucking confusing. Firewall 0 hours fucking perfect.
This was less just confusing. But that little in-game menu that you pop up to like look at what you want to equip,
the weapon menu.
The weapon wheel, like half the time or probably more, like I would end up getting the wrong weapon because you just naturally you look at the one that you want, and then sometimes you would look away before letting go of the button, and because you look away, it like switches over to like the opposite side.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times I would try to get my grenade, but then let go of the button after I'd look away, and then I would have a flashbang because it would switch over to the flashbang before I let go of the damn button. Like
on body equipment would have been very nice, Breacher style.
Yeah.
Donnie says the heavy leaning on the eye tracking was the main issue, but again, I'm not sure First Contact had much of a choice regarding those choices, which in turn killed us and how the community reacted. Tasuki says, breaking news, Deadeye Dan reforms FCE to make sure Firewall lasts forever. I mean, I wish someone would step in to save the game, honestly. We'll never get the deets behind who and was, I know. I know. That's
No.
the annoying part. All NDAs signed and all this shit. Nobody'd be able to speak. Killa says eye tracking should not have been implemented into the gameplay mechanics. Tsuki says they overthought things. I'm just trying to get this cause up a little bit. Space Denizen is there. How you doing, Space Denizen? Cyber Cyborg, what's up? As well, Fernando says PSVR aim controller worked much better. Even the move controller in older PSVR games works better for me than Firewall Ultra. Warmonger is here. How you doing? If you could combine Pavlov, Firewall, and Breachers, you'd have the perfect game. I think Muzz said that as well during one of the streams. The perfect combination. And Rapture is here. It says this is just me, but there's so many games nowadays. It is a fine balance trying to make your game stand out from the others while maintaining mechanics that people have come to expect. So there you go. So, that gives one reason why you would implement these things is to try and stand out from the crowd, you know? Especially with untested stuff, you know, that eye tracking stuff, like...
But that's the sad part,
could
though.
have worked out amazingly, like, you know, but it didn't.
You stand out with the crowd with the fucking gameplay and the graphics.
Yeah, I know that too.
Well, yeah, that's the sad part. If they thought they had to stand out from the crowd because of all the eye tracking, it's like they already stand out from the.
They already made it
because they're Firewall. Yeah, everyone already was on their side. If they just had to like.
Maybe they were just aware that there was going to be way more competition compared to PSVR 1, where it was kind of just them until Alvo came along.
Yeah.
Interview with Frank should be alone. Better with the one-on-one, says Donnie. Chaos says, wouldn't giving us away on PS Plus revive the game to get it going again? I'm hoping that's something that happens. They give, they do a PS Plus monthly giveaway thing. Is eye tracking a gimmick? Says LSB. No, I don't think it's a gimmick. I think it's a really good feature, especially when it comes to like the foveas or rendering shit. But it can be used as a gimmick. You know, Chops has got to bounce. Your father had knee replacement surgery this week, so he's here getting some help. Nice one. Looking after your old man. GG's. Take care of Chopped.
Get it chopped.
Beat Saber is still being supported, but Beat Saber is still topping the charts every month.
Bullshit.
Of course it is.
The most overrated game ever created.
I mean, it's good, but it's like, I'm just tired of it, you know?
Right. It's first fucking in the charts every week, every month.
So another thing I wanted to bring up about this is that like Hess Barbara did an interview after the news went down, and when he was asked, what happened, what's the reason behind this, he said that there's not enough support for VR in the industry. Some people have taken that to mean that he's blaming the players. I think
I don't understand. I don't understand how they get that from that statement.
Well, I think there's like a very anti FCE, so anything that they can take
and
and twist it to be anti-consumer, then they'll do that.
It wouldn't have said industry though. Like industry is not like you wouldn't say industry to reference player base.
Yeah,
like
Marcus.
that's not like
Marcus.
Yeah. Something else. So you don't say industry. Like it's not how you refer to players. Like
I think
we're the industry. We're the industry.
I assume that was his way of saying Sony without saying Sony.
Yeah,
you know?
we know the lizard people don't have any faith in fucking. They want us to fucking keep this shit, and I mean us, like the players, to keep this shit alive. They're barely doing any marketing. They don't,
I think he's referring to either Sony being like the industry, or it could be a mix of Sony and also just like the big outlets like IGN, like the big name like news outlets online about gaming. Like they all didn't give a shit about VR in general, let alone first like Firewall. Like when Firewall came out, like it wasn't mentioned hardly at all. Like
barely, check the Metacritic, barely any reviews. Like. Compared to the big games out there, and look at Jeff Keighley's award show. They don't even let them come on stage. It's like, oh, the winner of VR is blah 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 next.
Yeah,
sorry, right. That is true, but I feel like this game were to still survive, and not only survive, be the number one selling game. If again,
it was. It came out. It came out selling number one. So there's your proof that people were willing to like give it a try because they loved Firewall 0 Hour. So. They topped the sales charts when it first came out, and then that was it. That was like their time in the sun, and then all the problems hit, and then it was just downhill.
There had to be some time frame, like you said, some time frame that they gave them. Hey, you need to have the game out. The lizard people told them, because otherwise, it just doesn't make sense, dude. It's just it's weird. Again,
and obviously Sony,
Sony.
I think there was like a ton of people that were demanding refunds, and that Sony really probably dislikes that kind of feeling about all the people calling them demanding refunds for this game. So that probably didn't bode well for the future of FCE either. Just like from a business standpoint, like
I don't know that many people actually get refunds because it's very hard to get them.
I think so.
Sony.
I think so. Like if they demand
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were asking for refunds because they were disappointed with it.
All right.
And they, if you complain enough, they have to do it. Like it's not like they can just like close their phone lines down, support and all that kind of stuff.
But I thought there was like a thing where it's like, well, you've played it, we can see on the system here, you put in a couple hours, so get fucked. You know, that's kind of what Sony are, the way they are. But maybe if you're persistent enough or whatever, that you can turn them around.
Well, it also helps if the game's like broken how it was launched.
Yeah,
like at the
matchmaking not working and all
like
that
the
shit,
matchmaking. You have a reason to like demand your money back if the game's like physically like actually not working.
But then you have people now saying that because First Contact Entertainment is closed down, now they want to get the refund because it's like, well, this is just 4 months into a live service game and there might not be any more content and stuff, so I want the refund.
Yeah.
Even though they might have put like 100 hours in at this stage, which I don't know if that would be a reasonable.
I don't know what the right. I don't know what the right answer to that is. Like when is it a cutoff period? I mean, look at what's that flat screen game with the robot like mechanic? Anthem. Look at Anthem.
Oh, yeah.
How long did Anthem stick around for when that launched? I think it was like maybe faster than Firewall, wasn't it? It was only like a couple months as well.
Yeah, was it really just a couple months?
It was pretty fast. I don't think it was very long. It might have been a little longer than Firewall, but like even still, like that was supposed to be like a continual like.
That was another Destiny type thing.
Yeah. And I mean, how many of those people demanded refunds because like the game's not. Yeah. You sold me a game that was promising this amount of gameplay, and it's closed now. So give me my money back.
So we got an example here from Minners in the chat, who is a anti-Firewall Ultra man, although he's a big fan of Firewall 0 Hour. I see his comments a lot. Minners, his first comment says, they never asked the community what they wanted. Big mistake, 0 Hour forever. And he said, I wanted a refund after the first week. It was obvious. It was a disaster. So Minners, did you get a refund? Like when you, like I assume you followed up, did you ring or ask, or did they just say no refund for you?
I'm guessing you got it. Maybe you didn't get a refund.
Jason Ewan is there. How you doing, Jason Ewan? And Lone Wolf Tasuki says it's because Beat Saber is simple and easy to jump in and out of, or for short bursts, so casuals eat it up. Yeah, no, I get that.
I know, but it's still overrated.
Yeah, it still hates it. I hate it because it's popular. You know, it's like it's one of those things.
You hate any
type,
bro.
I hated being the poster child for VR everywhere. Like that's like
yeah. I'm impressed when I see people
you draw in the casuals.
People playing it with their feet and doing crazy shit like that. You know, it's impressive. Oh my god, what's he shooting us directly into his eyeballs now? Look at this. Look at this. Gets into the bloodstream fast.
My eyes get irritated.
It hits the bloodstream. Hits the bloodstream instantly.
Eyeball.
What's the movie? Isn't there a movie that they use drugs with eye drops?
Probably. There probably is.
Or was it Cyberpunk? I don't know. Anyways.
Cowboy Bebop. They used to spray things in each other's eyes.
You bitch.
So Minners says, nope, I had already downloaded it, so no refund available. So there you go.
Oh, so they didn't allow.
So once you download this, you get fucked. Basically, that's
it's hard to get a refund from Sony.
So even if the game is broken, though, like remember Cyberpunk, they took it off the store. Surely they refunded people for Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I don't know how the rules work. I just assumed that people that were demanding refunds got them because like you couldn't play the multiplayer.
Because I've seen people saying they want refunds, but I've never seen people say I got the refund for Ultra.
Yeah, you know? True.
Fernando says, I think First Contact was already planned to close and they had worked mostly on graphics, maps, other things, but not on controls and gameplay. So they rushed us. So that is how we got Ultra being worse. I mean, look, we'll never know. We can speculate all we like. So I can't say you're wrong because I wasn't there. I don't know. Donnie says Beat Saber sells because it's the cheapest in-home babysitter. In-home babysitter, yeah, that's a good point too. Isn't that just how the Quest sells as well? Though? LSP says in the new Batman movie it had the drop drugs. You watching the new Batman movie, Jackpot?
I haven't seen
The
it.
Riddler?
I have HBO. I just got
Yeah.
HBO. Is it on HBO Max? Right. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? All right.
No, I haven't seen it, bitch.
It's not bad. It's all right.
Last one I saw was one of the Dark Knight ones. The last one that they made.
Dark Knight was really good though. Not the third one.
Really good movie.
Not the last one. That was
Which
the
one was
Bane
the last
The
one?
Bane one wasn't great. Like
You
compared
don't like
to
the
Joker.
one with Bane?
It was alright.
You don't like
but not-
Bane?
Yeah.
Why don't you like Bane?
You don't
But
like
Joker. The Joker one was the best. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
it? Yeah, but they were all good. Anyways, I'll watch it. Let's be. You'll see.
Okay, so just to kind of wrap up on this topic, where do you think Firewall Ultra will be in a year? Are we still playing it, or is it something we can't even play anymore?
A year might be pushing it. Like, I don't think it's going to be closing. Like, I don't think that they can get away with like just turning the game off this soon, especially if they're not giving out refunds. Like, I thought that people were getting refunds, and then I was worried that they were just going to shut it off. But if he said that he tried to get a refund and he was denied, then
Too bad.
how can they just turn off a game that you spent over $50 on? And
Well, I'm sure, like
Just
when
saying,
when you boot up the game, it's like you agree to the EULA, and it's like it's written in there in the fine text somewhere. And listen,
Yeah.
live service game, shit
it was
happens.
get the fine
You know?
point, magnifying glass to read the fine point. Yeah.
But they usually will give you a good heads up when it comes to shutting
Yeah.
down games, like a year or something like that.
I
You
think
know?
as if it keeps up a decent player base and it looks like it's running, they could go for like several more months, I think. But like if it just becomes a ghost town, they're just gonna be like, yeah, it's done, turn it off.
I think. Shut up. Go ahead.
No, cool.
Nothing. I agree with most. I think that they're not gonna shut it off right away. They can't. I don't know when they're gonna shut it off. Maybe at least a year. I think they're gonna give us pretty good heads up. But honestly, I don't. Fuck, man. I wish, but I don't think this game is gonna survive. As in, it's gonna be dead. Nobody's gonna be playing. Only the hardcore people, and then people are gonna like we joined the other day, and we don't mind losing because we lose quite a bit, but we were just getting spanked, and it was because we were level 25, 25, and we were playing in level 50s, right? And they knew, and they were better than us clearly because they're better. So I feel like that's gonna turn off a lot of people, and it's gonna get to a point that only the really, really hardcore players are gonna play, and it's just gonna eventually just die, which is pretty sad. That's how I feel.
Actually, I think it will actually go probably like a year without shutting down, because you know what? It's still on it's still on the store. You can still buy it.
Yeah.
So like they wouldn't be still selling it if they were planning on shutting it off.
And let's say they do that thing that people want, where they put it on PS Plus. Surely that's going to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have VR headsets that have no idea that First Contact shut down. Like normal, like regular people that don't watch like VR YouTube
or anything,
videos. Yeah, they have no idea. They're just gonna buy the game and play it and be like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like,
yeah,
they're not gonna be like,
I don't know. It's hard. I think if they make it free, then that's where they could keep the game more alive. But
they also would need the sales though. They also need the sales to keep.
But they've got operations. That's like sell the operations, but make the base game free. Like that's and somehow keep operations
right.
going,
But who's going to put out the operations?
Well, that's
though?
it.
Yeah,
well, that's what they should have kept people behind to do at least that much. Like but like maybe they could bring in people on to do that.
At least if they have like a trickle of new people still coming into the game buying it, that might be enough to keep like the servers running. Like enough money to like warrant having the servers go as long as they can with people still buying the game here and there.
I think you guys are thinking people are more stupid, as in they're just gonna randomly, oh, there's just a game of shooter. Yeah, there's gonna be people like that. They're like, oh, this is a shooting game I've never seen. But for the most part, that's not gonna be enough sales for them to be like, oh shit, let's just keep going. I think the majority of people who know are gonna buy this game bought this game, and the new people that jump in, the majority of them might look into the game a little bit and be like, oh, this game apparently is dead or whatever. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's enough for what they're asking. They're still asking what, full price, $30 or whatever, $40. It's gonna be a hard sell for them to get enough copies sold for them to be like, oh, let's bring a couple other people to work on something. I hope that they should have kept First Contact, but whatever. I hope they don't this IP doesn't die. I hope somehow it gets picked up I hope not fucking Sony. I hope Sony sells it to somebody that takes care of this fucking game And I'm not saying First Contact did it, but Sony we don't want Sony to be involved in this. But that would be nice. Somebody takes care of this game, and then keeps working on it. Because again, we love this game, and this game has fucking huge potential. It's just I feel like Sony was the one that, for the most part, killed this. But again, we will never know.
I think this is going to be open for there's one good example that people keep bringing up: Drive Club VR. Evolution Studios shut down before the game launched, so there was nothing after launch came, and the servers were there to play for 4 years after.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and they still have the servers open to this day for 0 hour. I still have people on my friends list that every day I see them playing Firewall 0 hour.
But that's P2P, so it's probably cheaper.
Oh,
whereas these are dedicated servers, so that's probably
true. That's true. Dedicated servers cost more money.
They sure do. They call people who abuse it dropheads. Are you a drophead, Jackpot?
No.
Minners thinks Ultra will be dead by June. Mad Hasser says, in a year you'll be depressed on Breachers and I'll have modded Firewall's soundtrack into Beat Saber dancing my ass off, says AZ6 the Mad Hasser. Worm says Breachers audio is fixed. I did see the patch that they were talking about audio, but I didn't get to test it out yet, so I'm glad to hear it's fixed.
Nice.
Minners says no new players are going to join, and as numbers dwindle, the servers will become too costly to run. According to Deadeye Dan, though, he's been seeing lots of new names. I assume Christmas time.
Deadeye Dan, Deadeye Dan.
We've seen new names. We've seen new names.
Yeah, trust anything Deadeye Dan says about.
We've seen level ones playing. Important says, as someone who's ended a software product at publicly traded company, the lawyers would likely recommend at least a year. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Minner says, I personally think more players are playing 0 hour than Ultra. Do you think that's true? I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. I wouldn't go back to the PSVR one though. Not putting that thing back together again. Poster child for VR is that dang gorilla tag thing, says Tasuki. Yeah, that's the sad reality of it. Chops has had to jump back in to ask what happened with First Contact. I feel like I missed a lot. Sorry. They shut down.
Are you okay?
Chop, you didn't know this? I'm getting emotional. Donnie thinks we'll get another year at least.
I think a year sounds right.
I think we will get the servers up. I'm just worried about if people are going to actually be playing the game, like enough people,
Yeah.
That's
just going to be running into the same group of four. Like,
you've just reminded me now that there is. I'm going to promote this as well. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have a video out that there is like a Firewall League starting up, like there was for Firewall 0 hour. So that's going to be, taken off and hopefully breathe a bit of life into us. People will see, hey, people are playing this, and it's going to be a good game to watch in terms of like competitive streaming. So hopefully that can get people interested in this as well. I think it was like a very healthy part of Firewall 0 hour. A lot of people are still playing that game, or still like league players and stuff. But yeah, just in case.
I've never really been interested in like the professional gaming scene, like watching people play like Call of Duty and stuff. Yeah, esports, that whole scene. I think it would be more interesting if it was like a VR related, but like I know VR is nowhere near mainstream enough to be put into that category. But I mean, it makes more sense in my mind to be more like excited to see like a esport that has like VR shooting than just like holding a controller, like staring at a screen. At least you see the players like actually doing the action. Yeah, actually moving. It would be more entertaining, like just to watch them play it. And it just makes more sense. But I mean, it's a long ways off for that to ever happen. But
Minners says, I really don't understand people's love for Ultra. You must all be playing a different game than I played. Well, personally, I think it's still the most tense game out there. I mean, it still has that core from Firewall 0 hour, except it just looks beautiful now.
I really enjoy playing it, but I am handicapped every time I play it because I don't use grenades. I don't use the ADS, and I kind of like just play it like base level stuff the way that I want to play it, and I'm missing out on like a lot of extras. So, but I have more fun that way. So,
Swings and roundabouts.
kind of, yeah, just kind of play it how you want to play it, and forget about the rest of it.
Yeah, for some reason, I mean, we probably know the same, but I don't. I mean, the core gameplay is there, but I don't like lately, and it's not because they shut off. I've just been not having as much fun. I think because of now it's different, right? The grinding and all that is a lot better, but I think because it just never got there on time, I'm just not having as much fun as I maybe did at the beginning. At the beginning, obviously because of the hype and all that, but yeah, I'm not. You know, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't vote for this game anymore in the Discord to play. I still love it, like I said, but I agree with him. I think it's a little bit of bias because we really love Firewall. But
Yeah.
it's just, you know,
You'll come
I
crawling
wish
back.
it would have continued. I wish it could continue. It would continue to.
Man,
No, I
imagine
haven't voted for it, bitch. I
You
just
come
wanted,
crawling back.
I just wanted to continue to go and keep going, and the game fucking get better because it was getting better. But unfortunately, we didn't, and it's just very disappointing. And maybe that's what's just turning me out from playing it because I'm just depressed about it shutting down.
You just need to get over it, you know. I mean, I'm not telling you to get over it. I'm just saying, you know, you're saying you're depressed, but it's going to get to a point where it's like, okay, this is how it is. We're playing Breachers, we're playing Pavlov. Oh, there's still the same maps here over and over again. We want to try something different. Back to Firewall. It's like it's a nice little rotation.
I know
it's
just it's hard because honestly, for the most part, at least the last times we played, like fucking, we get our asses kicked every time for the most part on Firewall.
No, please speak for yourself.
Yes, we
please
do.
speak for yourself.
We're a team, bitch.
That's not reality. That was one combination of us yesterday.
No,
Normally I'm playing
I
with Dan. You know, I'm playing with
well,
other
Dan is a beast.
Moz
No,
as well, of course.
I still enjoy it. It's just obviously Breachers is new. It's the new toy, so I want to play that more. But no, I enjoy Firewall. Obviously not like 0 hour, but you know, sucks. It is what it is.
All right. Chap says, well, that didn't answer my question. I know they shut down, but why? You're fucked them out, says Chap. All right. Well, I'm not going to answer it now because you're gone. What's the point? Desi Gamer says, Mace, I didn't spank you. Even crying at level 50, I still sucks anyway. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I follow Desi Gamer. I didn't spank you.
Hold on.
What's your name on PlayStation?
Maybe he was the one beating us.
Were you on the team yesterday we were playing against? Was it 2 days ago? I can't remember. Important says, look up the old Onward tournaments. No fatties playing in those matches. The Mad Hazard says, so you're saying I can't play that game? Is that what you're saying? Mad Hazard says, I used to watch a channel on Twitch called VR Master League who covered Onward tournament. Was great. Move Master make hope somebody picks up the IP and builds on what's been created.
Yeah.
And ACDS can't wait for Ghosts of War and Contractor Showdown. I'm looking forward to both of those as well. Although Jackpot's kind of put me off Contractors now. He said it's kind of like,
No. It's not bad. It's just not Firewall. It's just kind of like Alvo, or like a Call of Duty-ish. I hope the mods, which we're not gonna get mods, but that's what I like about Contractors, right? Mm-hmm. There's a fucking Halo stuff. There's a bunch of different ones.
We're not getting that. We're not getting Halo stuff.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the cool shit about Contractors. But it's fun. It's fast-paced, Call of Duty-ish type game. It's not bad.
Important says the top Onward player was named Jizzy Pants, and they made him change his name to Pants in tournaments. There you go.
Lame.
That's nice. That's nice trivia there for you. Got VR Legs, how you doing? He misses the aim controller. I think we all miss the aim controller.
You know, I did really miss the aim controller, but having played Pavlov, like waiting for Firewall to come out, and the amount of time I put into Pavlov, I just got used to just using 2 controllers now. Like, yeah. I don't miss the aim controller as much as I thought I would.
But it would be cool if they would have made a specific, like they made this shit for the PSVR 1. It would have been cool if they made an aim controller type, or like an attachment with fucking, you know, you can put the thing with magnets or whatever. They would have made some fucking Frankenstein shit. I think that would have been.
Yeah, especially if they put like haptics in there and shit.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're caught up. I think we can move on to another topic now.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I want to say is it is really sad that First Contact is gone, because like I genuinely like had the best gaming time playing Firewall 0 Hour. Like the time I put into that game, like it's like one of the best gaming times I've had in the past like easily 10 years. So
I'd probably rank Firewall 0 Hour in like a top 10,
it's
top
way up
5
there.
game or something like that.
Yep. And it is still to this day the only platinum I have on my PlayStation.
Nice. You cheesed
Because
it. It doesn't count.
No, all skill.
A long shot.
No,
you cheese it for long
you were
shots.
the ones that was like, "Hey guys, I need to do this trophy. Get over here.
Stand over here.
No,
Don't move.
it was a mile away shot. I one-handed it. It was perfect. It was...
Cheating.
Yeah, it sucks. We'll see. We'll see where the game ends. But
You all wish you had it. You all wish you had that platinum.
Tsuki, I
yeah,
do.
hopefully
I really
everybody
do.
gets jobs soon.
Yes. That's a very important thing to say.
Most
Hopefully everyone at
important
first
thing, I
contact
think.
lands on their feet. I know some of them have gone to strange games. I don't know how many or who they are, but at least some of them are, finding something so quickly. So that's nice to hear.
Thanks for all the fun memories.
Exactly.
Good times.
Thank you, first contact. G Hall. No, sorry, I skipped one. Tasuki. Durban Brown, how you doing, by the way? Muzz is handicapped anytime I'm on his team in any of these shooting games. Lol.
Who said that?
Tasuki. He's your kryptonite. G Hall says, I thought I bought the Cobra Vader 1 gun stock, especially for Firewall Ultra. Damn. Sad. Sad stories,
days.
Casanova 20, how you doing? Says, I'm sad FCE is gone, but it was 100% preventable by them. Important says, I bought 2 full PS4 plus VR setups for friends and family because of 0 hour.
Damn.
Well, that was PS4 and VR, so
PS4.
he got the value out of that at least.
Yeah.
Tsuki says, I wish they would just drop a permanent 2 times XP buff and maybe even crypto so people can get the things they want sooner. Alien Vertex.
Just unlock every gun. Here you go. Every gun you can use. And
Oh,
then
no.
that's it.
I still want to work towards things. Like I still want reasons to go back, I think the grind, I think where it is now is not bad. The grind, Alien Vertex says, I really loved working at FCE. I'm sad it ended. I'm sorry, Alien Vertex.
You worked there.
There you go. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But
That sucks.
you're one
Hopefully
of
you
the
get a
people-
job soon.
Hopefully
GG,
you
we like
land on
Firewall.
your scene or your feet, and you're not forced into doing, a lesser kind of a role, because I'm sure working at first contact was special enough, because he definitely did something special back on PSVR 1 at least. I think everyone would agree on that. So GG's, and I'm sorry. Tasuki says, Dan would not have made a difference. We sucked because we were against a high-level team. Is Tasuki behind? All the time and know all the maps. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying, like, Jackpot, basically, he's always going to have a bad time when he's playing because of his skill level. Whereas the rest of us, it's not for us. How many copies of Ultra got sold, says LSB? Actually, did that get leaked? That might have gotten leaked by the Insomniac thing. Insomniac had a big leak. Actually, I meant to put that as a topic, the Insomniac leak. I forgot all about it. Casanova says, I played Firewall 0 Hour non-stop for a year and I stopped Ultra after a week. Donnie says, NT, next topic. Donnie, please. The pressure you're putting on me is unbelievable right now.
Like, shut the fuck up already. Can we talk about something else?
Stop
We already
commenting.
said our sad goodbyes. Move it along.
Government done took my baby, says God for your legs. Sony done took my baby. Okay, we're moving on.
What's the next topic?
Okay, there is another topic,
GG.
but before I do, I'm just going to add in quickly this topic that I wish I did remember in time. The Insomniac thing, they got leaked. All of their future plans for the next 10 years are out there. There's like loads of Marvel games and all this shit planned. But not one single mention of them like working on a VR game, a PSVR 2 game, which is crazy because, when they were bought by Sony, we're like, oh, cool, these lads made Stormlands on the Oculus, whatever the fuck it was, Rift. And now, surely Sony are going to take advantage of that and give us VR games. And then it was like, oh, they're working on Spider-Man, they're working on Wolverine. Surely those will have some kind of PSVR 2 mode. And nothing. Not in the cards, not in the plans.
Of course not. What would they?
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Of course, it could always change, but they're not thinking about it, it looks like. Important says, doesn't the leaderboard tell us the number of players / sales? I mean, I guess, are you able to go all the way down to the bottom? I don't know if you can. or if you have to stay within a certain amount of where you are on the ranking. Donnie doesn't want us to keep hurting. Okay, we'll move on, Donnie. I'm sorry. So the next thing is Sony at CES last night, which I didn't pay any attention to at all, which I probably, I'm like in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't, because they didn't show anything off for us. But they did show off this new VR headset thing.
AR
Well,
headset.
AR, sorry. Well, it doesn't it do VR as well? No? Is it all
They're
AR?
calling it. I think they're
it's
just calling
AR
it an
then.
AR.
Okay.
AR headset.
It's an XR2 Plus Generation 2 headset, apparently. It's for spatial content creation, so it's not really for consumers. This is for people who want to make things in a virtual space, and they've got like special little controllers, like a ring controller you put on that lets you interact with the environment. You know, specifically for like artists and stuff, like imagine people making things in Blender or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it's not too interesting, other than it
Well, they
is.
spend millions of dollars on this fucking trash, but they don't.
Well, I mean, it could be a success for them. You know, that it's not for us, but it is a standalone headset, so maybe it could be like a building block for them in the future if they want to do a Quest competitor type thing. They might build off of what they're doing here with this thing.
Maybe.
I don't know.
What's the cost? What's the cost of this?
I don't
thing,
know.
Does it say?
I don't know. I don't think it does say. I haven't heard anyone say the cost, but I could be wrong. I didn't study too much because once I heard it wasn't, anything to do with gaming, I was like, whatever.
It's a weird look. Like I don't know what like. I don't know if it's just a weird timing or something. Like because like everyone's saying like, oh, VR is like dying, and obviously Sony's not putting as much attention to it as everyone would like. And it's just like, when is it going to start picking up? When's Sony going to start dropping some like big game announcements and all this kind of stuff? And then it goes quiet for so long, and then suddenly like they have a big thing at CES, and then they come up with this AR headset. It's just like, well, what about us? We're still here. We still have our VR headsets. We want some attention over here too, please, Sony. But
Gyson, how you
Fucking
doing?
kinda like-
depressing, dude. Every year, every 2 months, every 6 months, it's the same thing. They don't give a fuck. Every time we go on there, I wish you would do this. We just literally we know.
I hope this isn't a sign that they're like pivoting, like changing their position in the.
It could be. I'm
in
worried about
space.
them. I am worried about them, and we have more topics to talk of as well, which are going to like just increase the worry later on. Important says we're like 3D TV owners now. No, we'll always be better than them because we got 2 generations. You know what 3D? There was no 2 generation push in a row for 3D TVs. All right, so we are more of an established thing. No,
Did you got a 3D TV?
No, gimmick. Why would I want that gimmicky shit? There was one cool 3D TV where the PlayStation did one where it's like you could have 2 players. And one player would see one version of the screen and the other player would see a different image, even though it was just one screen. So you could do split screen without doing split screen, basically.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think Killzone is lame. It's fucking
So
revolutionary, you bitch. Infinity.
It's the only real way to watch Avatar, okay, guys. We can't watch Avatar within a 3D TV.
You see half and I see half. We'll combine it together. Infinity Left says this shiz reminds me of Minority Report. Yeah, they're doing all the hand things. I pasted the whole video in where they're doing like a remote control car as well, where they're controlling the car with the DualSense, but ignore that. It's just the headset that's kind of relevance to us. Donnie says that's great for so many fields of manufacturing, design, engineering, art, medical, etc. Exactly. It's good for everyone except for us. Which is fine.
Just gamers, yeah.
We already have the headsets. I didn't want them to put out another one, so but a game or two would have been nice. And yes, Tasuki is behind us, so you see my comments later. Lol. Durban Brown says no bocce ball in the lobby is what killed us.
Yeah, we need the bocce balls.
No basketball. No shoe noobs. No shoe noobs.
There you go. That's what it is. LSB says I used to have the PS3D HD TV. Is that the one I was talking about? Where you could do the split screen that way. And Tasuki's back on current time. Welcome to the present, Tasuki.
Good job, Tsuki.
Yes, I don't really have anything else to say about this. It doesn't interest me too much. Only that I'm glad that I didn't watch this because they gave us absolutely nothing. Last year they gave us Gran Turismo 7. So, There was a reason that you might have thought staying up to watch this would have been a good idea, but you would have been wrong.
Oh what?
They
Just
they,
wake
they
up
had
and see the
they did
mess.
have they had like that like 10-second little clip of the VR playing, and I
Yeah.
think they showed like 2 or 3 games. I don't even remember which ones they were.
It was just
There
two
was kinda
games.
like-
It was that and Beat Saber, and that like Gran Turismo 7 was releasing 1 month after that, so they would
No,
have
no,
had.
no.
Sorry,
I
go.
mean in this show.
Oh, I'm
like
sorry. I'm
the-
sorry. I'm sorry.
In this show, they had that like just like a half a second of like a little sizzle reel when they're playing VR, and they had like a couple of games played.
Oh,
like-
Resident Evil 4 was like a quick
Yeah,
sizzle of that.
and
Yeah.
maybe like 1 other 2 games that they showed them playing, but it's like not even a minute. It's like that's
Yeah.
all that's all we
Yeah.
got.
But you still kind of have to watch it or be aware of it at least in case they do drop
Yeah.
something. You just never know with them.
Yep.
Tsuki says Firewall would have never died if we got that pumpkin face paint at launch. Amen. Amen.
That's
give
the downfall. That's
Give the
the
people
downfall
what
right
they
there.
want.
Nobody wants that garbage.
HDS says I'm playing Assassin's Creed Nexus for my Quest 3 and it is. And that's
It is
it.
what? I think
That's
LSD bought
it.
this game too. He has a quest to go through.
The suspense is killing me.
Oh, it is the one with the split screen, full screen. That's cool. That is cool. That's got to be like worth something in a few years' time. Donnie says, but in turn, companies could use this to make a game using whatever software would work. Exactly, Unreal Engine 5. Gran Turismo 7 is the only reason I'm keeping PSVR 2 says important, but it is a good reason. It is a good reason to keep it. Ace DS says, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Nexus on my Quest 3. It's so good. There we go. There we go. Okay, moving on to the next topic again. Don't have much to say. This next one is another depressing one.
How did they not tell us the price of that thing? They had it on the stage and they didn't say how much it was going to be.
Maybe they did. I just wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay.
$2,000 some garbage.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's probably in the thousands. The controllers look expensive anyway in that thing. The next story is about Archiact. So they're the developers of...
What?
I said the next story is about Archiact, which is the name of the studio. How would you say this?
I don't know. Let me see how you spell it because
It's in the fucking
Listen,
notes. Are you in the Google Doc?
No, I'm not gonna look at the notes. I don't have time for that.
So
shit.
you
Nobody
just
got time
literally
for that.
asked me to show you how it's spelt, and then it's like right there in front of you.
Nobody got time to prep for this shit.
Archiact.
Just show up 5 minutes before.
Archiact. Yes, I know that.
You mean Archiac?
Archiact. Is that okay for
Okay,
you?
anyways.
Is that okay?
No, it's fine. It's just anyways.
They made the recent Journey to Foundation game, which kind of nobody really talked about too much, I don't think. It kind of got mixed reviews when it launched, and then people kind of forgot about it. I know it's based on that TV show that we were talking about before that. I don't think is very popular, because I don't really hear anyone talking about it. Maybe it's popular in America or something, but over here, nobody's really talking about Journey to Foundation.
I think a lot of the people that watch the show aren't into VR, so it didn't really translate well.
Well, there you go. But presumably, as a result of not doing very well, they're having layoffs at the studio. They're advertising on their Twitter 9 positions, but that doesn't mean it's just 9 people leaving, because there could be multiple people in those positions. But they're like saying we've got people for these roles that need filling. So that's another gut punch for the VR industry. More bad news. Bad news merchants. To try and catch up again. Arcatel says SDS.
There you go, Arcatel.
That's not how you say their name. That's a different word. Jackpot can't read, says Tasuki. That would explain why he won't look at the notes. Doesn't that explain it? It does.
Say
shooting drops.
say Melnir.
That dirty drop head over there can't read or write. The game was super heavy narrative, says Tasuki. Did you try it? Oh, 90% narrative, I heard. ASD is laughing. G Hall says, I'm looking forward to Vertigo 2. Me too. That's coming. That's at least one good bit of good news coming up. Tasuki says, not a lot of actual gameplay. That's why it was already half off in the last sale. Yeah, so it released for $14. It was like $20, and it only came out like a month ago or something. Infinity Lefty says, Pumpkins and Jackpot arguing over how a word is pronounced is how America and Ireland go to war. Mexico and Ireland, you mean? All right. So sad news there, and I don't know, probably nobody from Archiact watching this, but just in case.
Is this a sad news?
that they got laid off. A lot of layoffs
Oh,
at this
shit.
studio. Where have you been?
He's not
Where have you
I'm trying to
been?
get some bread from my fucking bag. I don't care about you, what you
A
say.
little
I've been
baggie,
fucking
little
muting
baggie
you.
of bread.
After you say Eric, I was like, I don't know, fucking
I'm not listening to
Let me
this. I'm
just
not
get my
listening to
bread
this.
out.
tuning out.
Anyways, well, nobody, they're not gonna see this, but if they do, sorry. Hopefully you get
They
a
don't
job
care.
soon.
They don't want your sympathy. They don't give a shit about your sympathy, all right? They want my sympathy, in which case, I'm sorry, and I hope you land on your feet. And Muzz, I'm sure, is also sympathetic.
I'm indifferent.
Tell it. He's
No, I'm
tell
joking.
Nobody cares about
Jesus.
us.
Muzz is ice cold.
I'm joking. I'm
Ice
joking. It's sad. I'm sure they'll find a job.
Uh,
There's lots of VR companies out there that are looking for help.
All right. And another bit of bad news. Well, not necessarily awful bad news, but not great news. So Zenith, you know Zenith, that MMO anime kind of a game. They've been out for a while. They're on PSVR.
Yes.
They were on PSVR 1, and then they released a port on PSVR 2. I'm pretty sure they're on like Quest and every other headset. So they got a big kind of a base of platforms that they're on. But they've been taking losses month after month for 12 months. So, which obviously isn't sustainable. So they're going to kind of do a last ditch effort to save the game, possibly save the studio. I don't know how serious it is, but they're doing like a 2.0 update for Zenith, where they're going to overhaul a bunch of shit and add in a loads of content and hopefully bring in a big revival of players to the game. But if it doesn't pan out, then Zenith is probably going to go the way of, well, I don't want to say Firewall Ultra, because Firewall Ultra is still going to be around for a while. But an MMO needs to be supported constantly, or else it's not really going to go anywhere, is it?
Right.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I've never tried this one yet. I don't think you guys have either, have you?
It's
Have you
a
played?
bit
Nope.
anime. It's a bit anime for my liking.
Ask to Suki. Suki might probably already finish this.
Maybe. But MMOs as well also is not something I've tried too much. Like, I haven't gotten into them.
Yeah.
But still,
I don't think it has bad reviews though. I don't think
everyone
it
has.
amazing
Everyone
reviews
seems to
either,
like
but
it who
it's
plays
better.
it. Like,
It's just one of those maybe too ahead of its time in terms of trying to get that kind of player base to be constantly playing.
well, people are always asking for that, like that, that sword art online anime. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
we need this in VR, and this is kind of like that was supposed to be
Yeah.
this kind of.
Yeah, and then no one wants to play it. So weird.
So listen, I don't know. I've not played it, so maybe there's reasons like it doesn't have replayability, or it gets boring after a certain point, or something. But hopefully they can fix this. SDS says, and I'm not reading that. LSB says maybe some of the ex-devs will get together and form a new studio. Maybe. Tsuki says nope, never touched it. Donnie says I have Zenith but never downloaded this. It has a massive forecast, but the player base isn't staying around. And Tsuki says, and people hearing it's in trouble means less people would want to buy it, thinking it will shut down soon after. Well, maybe they just want to bring back the people who have already bought it, give them a reason to get back in there. There's many players that have completed all its missions, etc. Okay, so there might be a content issue with it.
Maybe.
So hopefully they can fix this. Hopefully they can figure out a way to keep people wanting to come back again and again. Add a lot of replayability. Turns into like a Destiny type thing where people will just grind the shit out of it for 1,000 hours. Because
I think
sorry, was
I've heard that it has like a not an easy jump in for new players. I think that's one thing that they're trying to make it a little more streamlined, to make it like easier for people just to jump in and like know how to play. Because I've heard some people say it's like a little too overwhelming, like the way that they put you in the game and you don't know like what to do and like all the mechanics and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's what, like fine tuning that kind of like entry point to make it a little easier just to get in and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else I want to say about this other than I hope they can figure it out?
I want to check to see how much it is on the store, because I always kind of wanted to try it out, but I mean, unless it's like a really low price right now, I don't know if I'd buy it and risk like the game just closing on me. So
Well, just
Maybe
made
like-
that point that
yeah.
nobody's going to want to buy it now because of this news that they put out there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have competition. Like there's no other MMOs out there, so you would think it would be doing
Yeah, but
better.
I feel like after a game comes out, for the most part, there's a lot of players or a lot of people with PSVR 2 headsets or PSVR whatever. There's not a lot of new people, I feel like, jumping in, and unless, like you said, they're trying to get the same people that have the game to come back. But in my opinion, it would have been probably better, and I don't even know if it works because obviously I don't know nothing. But if they make it more, instead of adding content for the people that have it there, obviously add content, but make it either cheaper or free to play, and try to get money in cosmetics or stuff like that. So you got more of a healthy player base, more people try the game for free, and maybe, you try to get money another way. Because for this, it seems hard. I mean, I don't know, but it seems hard for them. If they're already having issues, like how are they going to bring the players back? And then maybe they might bring a couple players back, but what is that going to do? Maybe in 3 months, 4 months, then those players are already sick of what they already added, and there's just nothing. You know what I mean?
I mean, it all depends on what they add.
Yeah, but still, I don't know.
Like if they can add like cool raids and shit, because like I said already, there's nothing else out there doing this. At least like player count and shit. Like how many other games where you can team up with like fucking, at least until.
But what are they gonna do that? What are they gonna do that is gonna make you and us and everybody that has this game, even that haven't even played it? What is it? It's not gonna make us jump and play. I think that's what they need. They need new players.
Not. But that's because I don't like anime and I'm not big into MMO. But for people out there who like either of those things, I'm sure they should be able to pull something out to entice them. Tasuki's there saying it's $30 now, but it was like half of that during the holiday sale. So like, if you wait for it to go on sale again, like let's say they do this big 2.0 updates, drop it down to 50% when that update comes out, wouldn't you risk $15?
Yeah, like right now, for me, it's $39.99. I'm not buying a $39.99 game that's not gonna maybe be around long.
What about $19.99 though? If they put it on sale when the patch comes out or the big update or whatever, like it'd be more.
I would say $14.99. I think $14.99.
Yeah, but that's why I said 20 for you, but like that's gonna be 14 for everybody else. Like Americans and euros.
Yeah.
Because your money is
somewhere
inflated prices in Canada. We can't be heeding them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be great, but MMOs need constant updates reliably, says Donnie. Yeah, and I'm sure they're probably like a relatively small team as well. G-Hall says, I'm amazed that Sony haven't made viewer versions of massive hits like Resistance and Killzone. I'm not amazed because Sony are just, when it comes to VR, you just don't know what you're going to get with them. They don't know what they're going to get with themselves, I don't think.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from this to some better news.
Next topic.
Vertigo 2. Not that I have too much to say about it, but we got a date. We've got a release date for Vertigo 2. There's actually already reviews out. Some people are calling it a masterpiece. It's coming out.
A lot of high praise.
15th. It's coming out on the 15th of January, so just a few days away now. The only kind of negative I'm seeing is because it's a Unity game, it doesn't have that support for the dynamic phoveazed rendering. So you're not getting that really sharp image that maybe you'd like to be getting. Which is another thing I'm worried about for Phasmophobia, that they're not going to have that either. So I'm worried about how that's going to look. But
I saw one reviewer saying. I heard one reviewer. One reviewer was saying it takes a hit on the frame rate when it starts getting like a lot going on.
Okay.
Which he said it doesn't really bother him because he's been playing VR, but he can see that maybe making some people that are newer at VR a little motion sickness with some of the frame rate drops. Like when he walks out into like the big open areas and like a lot of things going on, sometimes the frame rate would drop a little substantially. So
one thing I haven't heard of yet, because I didn't want to, like, I haven't been watching the reviews because I don't want to be spoiled by anything really other than what's in the trailers. But like, does the PSVR 2 version launch with that DLC that the other versions got recently? Does anyone know that? Because they got like a level editor, which will be, a big boost, and they got like modifier mode, so you can replay the single player campaign and have modifiers in there to bring like a lot of replayability in. So if that shit is launching on the PSVR 2 version, that would be, you have to have it.
Hopefully.
But I don't know if anybody knows that in the chat. No level editor, says Donnie.
No level editor.
Damn. Yeah, of course, we get nothing.
Yeah.
We get nothing.
You just get the base game. Base game, that's all you get.
Yeah. There you go. Suffer. All right, are you ready for the next topic? Are you getting this, by the way? Are you buying? Is this a day one for you?
Nope.
No,
Nope, I'm broke.
no. Fair
And I
enough.
wouldn't,
Fair
and
enough.
I'm not. You know me, I like the multiplayer games for the most part, and we have them. I mean, Phasmo, day one. I mean, I guess that's multiplayer too. But yeah, no.
Of course. Donnie says the
I'm on
PS5
the
could handle this. Sorry, go on, Muzz.
I'm on the fence for buying this day one. I still have other games I need to get to. Just don't know if I want to get this one before I actually play some other games.
All right.
But I do want to play it. It does look good. I definitely will play it at some point.
I'm somewhat of a broke ass bitch myself. I've entered a competition from Perp Games. It's like, reply with a GIF and you might get us on Friday or something like that. It's like, okay, this is my chance. This is my chance. All right, next topic.
Well.
This is one that, like, a game that we never talk about, which we should, because every time I see it, it's like, damn, I can't wait for this to come to PSVR 2, but we never bring it up. It's Lo-Fi. You've heard about this one or seen it?
Yes,
I've heard.
It's been a long time in development. This one.
Yeah.
Holy
So
I don't know what. I mean, it looks graphically really fucking cool, but like, have we seen story? What is this kind of game about? Like,
I think it's like you're
shooting.
It's like a cyberpunk kind of atmosphere. You're like a detective or something. I don't know.
You're like a bounty hunter, and you get like all these generated targets. So like he was asking people before, like years ago on Twitter, to send them, Mid-Journey and all them AI art generator things. He's like, please, people, generate as many like mugshots for me as possible, and I'll add them into the game. And so basically, the game will generate mugshot like NPCs for you to like hunt down and track down. And you're flying around and you're fucking. It's basically Blade Runner. It's Blade Runner, you know.
Yeah, pretty much is. Like, man, I remember like years ago, Without Parole had this on like as a tech demo. It was like all you did was just like fly in the airship and like around the city, and then you'd land on land on like a platform on a building, and it was over. That's all you did.
Yeah.
And then it sort of like turned into like, oh, now we'll make this an actual game and like flesh it out and
we'll add this and add that.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm bringing it up is because the developer, whose name is Blair Renaud, he made a big post on Twitter, basically saying that he has to put this game out in 2024 because he's running out of money. Which, I don't know, might make some people nervous that, is the game going to be ready when it comes out? Although he does insist that it's not going to come out until it's ready, so, although interestingly, he goes into like a big kind of behind the scenes look at how he's, forecasting how well it's going to do when it releases. And during development, how they're always bug testing and stuff when they're making games. So they got one of the developers on the team got the idea of making a playable flat so that they don't have to take the headset on and off all the time. And when they did that, they found, the game is actually really good flat. So now they're going to do a reverse hybrid and make a VR game playable flat to hopefully boost the sales as well to flatties, But basically the whole spiel, and this is why I told you I was going to bring this up later on, Jack, was he was like, PC VR is basically dead. They couldn't rely on the sales from that. He thinks PSVR 2 isn't doing great either based on his sources. Like, they're like not impressive numbers. He got like 66,000 wish lists on Steam and 24,000 on PS5 so far. Which sounds like a lot, but obviously it's not a lot. Like, not enough that they can like, they still need to go a hybrid approach to try and make something back.
Well, it's too powerful. You need a VR, like the PSVR 2. Or if this somehow, which is not going to, could it be a standalone Quest?
No,
maybe.
No, he said that. He says for anyone asking for Quest, he said put the pipe down.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He said put the pipe down. He's talking to
if
you.
For some reason, if for some reason this could have run in the Quest 3 for some reason, then maybe it would have been more of a chance. But
well, I hope he gets lots of sales. I hope a lot of people buy it, and he's.
Yeah, but this game looks fucking
sick. It looks cool. Yeah,
it looks really good.
Cool. And I'm happy.
I'll make a correction. I just want to make a correction. It wasn't Without Parole that I saw. It was GT was playing it along.
Okay, there you go. That makes sense because it wouldn't have been a PSVR.
Yeah, exactly. I caught myself after I said it. Like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
But yeah, so like it sounds like it has to come this year, which is, I mean, kind of good news and kind of, I suppose, a little bit concerning. That's like,
I hope
is he being forced?
Yeah, I hope it doesn't come out like janky or broken because he's desperate, like to get it out this year, and then it just doesn't work out. because it does look like such potential in this game. Like I wonder like how long it could be, like the campaign, and like how much there is to do. It looks like it's
Like,
pretty
is it a big open map, open world? Like, is this?
Yeah,
It seems
exactly.
that way, but how much detail is in it? You know, it's a
Yeah.
small enough team. So how much can they realistically do?
Yeah, like how many buildings can you go into? Probably not too many. Like
Yeah.
it might just be like the few that are story related.
Yeah.
We'll see.
G-Hall says, I heard that this probably won't come to VR flat screen only. No. Just a few days ago, he has confirmed, like, VR is still the priority. It's just that they want to, like, they're hoping that enough people buy it in VR that it pushes it up the rankings on the PlayStation Store, and then they put, like, the flat version will appeal to the flatties, and that might be the only way they see it, because obviously they won't have a big budget for marketing. But yeah, nothing else I want to say about this, other than, like, why don't we talk about this game more often? I don't know why we don't.
It's because it's like
they haven't showed anything else.
Yeah, it's just it's been so quiet for so long.
Yeah.
You just almost kind of forgot about it. Like
fair enough. That's fair enough. But yeah, I do want to remind myself that this is on my radar big time for 2024. This Phasmophobia, Aces of Thunder.
Aces of Thunder.
Vertigo
That's the
2.
game we don't talk enough about, because that game.
Well, we don't have enough to talk
me.
about either. Like,
I know.
Aces
of that game.
I think Aces of Thunder is a little further off than we thought. I don't think
it's soon. Like the last update
you
they
think?
put out kind of made it sound like it wasn't far away.
Somewhere.
Like shit. When did we talk about this?
I thought something
The last episode
recently.
we talked about this. No.
I thought something recently was shown that they said something about like it was still in development, not done.
No. I gotta look this. You keep talking. I gotta look it up now because I need to see
Yeah.
the most recent tweets, because it was definitely something I was like, oh, this is coming soon.
Yeah, because
They're
you're
just
thinking
hiring
completely
hiring
the
the
opposite way
artist.
that I was expecting. I
Yeah.
thought it was like further off than expected, and you're thinking the opposite. So.
Okay, here it is. So the most recent tweet was Merry Christmas and warmest wishes for a happy new year. The upcoming year holds great importance for us all, and we hope it brings you abundant joy as you soar through the virtual skies of Aces of Thunder. Game development is almost finished.
Almost finished.
Expect exciting news shortly. And this was the 26th of December.
So 2 years.
Shut your
2
mouth.
years from now.
Shut your mouth. All right,
Almost
2024
finished.
game.
So
I'm gonna say
I don't know. I don't
April.
know how long the cycle is from when the game is being finished developing to like getting it ready for launch. Like what kind of time frame is that? Usually, I have no idea.
I don't know, but at least they've got experience. Like they're not just like a new studio that's never made a game before. They've got like they're the War Thunder devs, so they'll know what they're doing. Tasuki
Is
says
this the first
April.
VR though?
I'm thinking April as well. Is there? Did they put like a viewer support into the War Thunder on PC? No.
I don't think so.
Yep.
Did they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a mod,
Like
no, like official.
An official?
Official.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. Although going through Sony is obviously going to be different than on PC.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with Tasuki. He says April. I'm going to say April.
I hope so. That would be nice. Yeah, that's.
But I'm
like, really excited.
I'm secretly thinking March, but I'm going to say April so that I don't disappoint myself when it turns out to be June. Next topic then is
Next topic.
Resident Evil 4. But have you got this yet? Both of you played this?
I own it. I didn't start it yet.
Disgusting. All right,
I know.
You're
No.
part of the plan. You're both part of the problem. Sorry, not part of the plan. Part of the problem I'm going to speak about. Well, it might not be a problem. I don't know.
What problem this game is? Didn't it won Game of the Year
Just relax.
or like
Just
VR
relax.
Game of the Year?
Just relax.
Shut up.
All right, take it easy.
Or the problem,
Okay.
bitch.
The reason I'm bringing up Resident Evil 4 is because there's a stat tracker thing where you can see how many people have played it in VR, the VR mode, and it is at 74,000. We're nearly a month after launch. 74,000 people have played it in VR, which is like 1%.
Out of how many?
Which that's
How many percentage?
1%. 1 point something percent.
Oh my god! Only 1% of people play this game played it in
But that's
VR?
total. That's total, not just PS5. That includes PS4, Xbox, PC.
Okay.
So, how bad does that sound to you? Does that sound worrying? Because I've seen other people say as well that
That sucks.
Resident Evil 7 was only 30,000 after a month, and that went on to do 1 point something million after 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
It could pick up, but I mean that's surprising for like how big of a game this is and how like what it is. Like it's
yeah, it's the big holiday game. You know, what are you giggling about?
Carol Parker.
What'd you say to
He said
me?
a comment.
What'd you say?
I'm trying to say Carol Parker the way you will say it. He said, "Damn, you did Jackpot dirty in the intro."
I would say Carol Parker.
Exactly.
Right?
That's why I laughed because I
it's the
read him
correct way
on
to say
your
it.
pronunciation.
Carl Parker. Is that what you want? Is that how you want me to speak? Like a freak?
Carl. No, Carl, not Carol. It's Carl.
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 And it's Parker, not
It's Carl.
Parker.
It's Carl. And it's
Anyways,
Parker.
that's why I laugh. Anyways, Resident Evil, buy it. I don't care. 1% lame. Should be
But
higher.
like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm starting to worry now, in general, not just like First Contact, all these layoffs, the forecasts from like Blair Renault saying, PSVR isn't too good. This not setting the world on fire, because this game has been out for a while. People already own it, and all they have to do is download the free updates, and it's like, you can play PSVR 2. Or they could have bought it half price when the patch came out. It was half price off. So how is this not?
But everybody
I'm just worried about PSVR 2 is what I'm saying.
Everybody that has this game and has a VR headset, you would expect them to already play it in a VR, right?
Yeah, but how many VR headset people out there haven't bought it? Well, I mean, it's not for everybody, obviously. Like, a lot of people can't handle scary games, especially in VR. Mm-hmm. So it's not like everyone's gonna, like, as good as it is, and everyone's saying it's great, but not everybody's able to jump in and like enjoy it because they'd just be too scared. That's a reality, I guess. But I didn't think it was that much of a player base that wouldn't be buying it to make it that low.
Well, I wish we would know the percentage. Like, what is the percentage of PSVR 2 owners that actually bought?
Well, there's a lot more. There's a lot more PlayStation VR 2 owners than 75,000 people, right? Like,
yeah, they sold like over 300,000 in the first month or something. So
yeah, so it's got to be like getting up there now. So only 75,000 people that own a PlayStation VR 2 headset have played this game.
Do you think we've sold 1 million yet? 1 million headsets?
I don't think so.
No.
I'd like to think so, but yeah, I don't think we're not quite there. Maybe in like the 700s if we're lucky. I don't.
Nah, I think the biggest chunk came at the beginning, but then I don't. It hasn't been anything. I mean, obviously during the holidays, I think that was a big push, and some people got VRs during the holidays, but I don't know. I think that everybody had higher expectations of what actually happened with the whole new headsets when it comes into Quest 3 and PSVR 2. And like I told you, bitches, and you're like, no, it's not true. The Quest 2 is, and you can look at the numbers. I haven't looked at them, but I trust myself. They're selling more. It's if you look at right now, I guarantee you that's it. The Quest 2 is the headset that sold the most VR.
No, you're
comparing
right.
PSVR 2, Quest 2, and Quest 3.
Yeah, it's outselling the Quest 3. But price is the thing, PSVR 2 was cheaper than, I know, obviously, like when you work in inflation and all the other stuff you had to buy, PSVR 1 was not cheaper than PSVR 2. They're roughly the same, but it looked cheaper. $399 is a lot easier than $599, which it is over here.
Well, the Quest 2 is $259. The Quest 2 is $259. You get a fucking almost even a gift card too, a $50 gift card. So the Quest 2 is very affordable.
Cheap sells. That's how you move. You need to be cheap. But then if PlayStation do that, they have to lose the eye tracking. They have to lose this. They have to lose that.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, I'm just proving my point that I was right, you bitch. Because both of you were bitching at me earlier, saying that and we're talking about the sales, and I think it sucks that with our expectations, everybody thought that. At least I thought that they were gonna sell at least a little bit more than they actually did. And like you said, maybe inflation, maybe all that. But it just sucks that it doesn't feel like it picked up as much as I thought it was going.
But this last few weeks has me just worried about PSVR 2 in general.
I know. Yeah. So many closures and so many studios having problems.
Like if you were to ask
me,
is there going to be a PSVR 3? And right now, I don't think there will be. G Hall says, I'm most looking forward to Vertigo 2, The Wanderer. I keep forgetting about The Wanderer as well, and Undead Citadel this year. Those are some nice ones. Tsuki says it's only on PSVR 2 in VR though. Yes, that is true.
Yes, she's right.
But Resident Evil 7 was only on PSVR 1 in VR, and it ended up getting over 1 million people. I know that was after 3 years, but I'm just trying to compare and just trying to get a feel. Like you would think maybe more people would have tried it by now. I waited for the VR mode before I bought Resident Evil 4. Me too. No, I bought it on a sale, but I never touched this until VR mode came out. Jonathan McGinley, how are you? He says, how much did PSVR 1 sell? I think 6 million was the last milestone that they announced anyway. So it might be somewhere between 6 and 7 now, but 6 million. Tasuki says, most people I see dogging PSVR 2 is because we don't have a roadmap of AAA and AAA Sony games in the future, which is valid and hurting sales. But there's also people like who just ignore it. Like, they don't acknowledge Gran Turismo, they don't acknowledge Resident Evil 8 or 4. They pretend that the AAA games that we have already, Horizon, Firewall, I would add Firewall, other people wouldn't, but they would say that these don't count, you know. People still scared Sony doesn't care, and that's obviously Sony shooting themselves in the foot there. PSVR 2 has had 600,000 after 6 weeks sales. Okay, thank you, Donnie. Thank you. So surely they've sold 400,000 since then after 6 weeks. We have to be past a million. We have to be past a million if that's what they did in 6 weeks.
Oh.
Unless they completely hit the brakes. There was a complete drop off.
Can that be maybe not accurate? Like 75,000.
Oh, sorry. Yes, there was a very important disclaimer that I forgot to mention until you just reminded me by saying that. It'll only count people who are like allow their data to be collected by Resident Evil. You know, when you're when you're booting up the game, it's like, would you like Capcom to collect your data or some shit like that? If you hit yes, you'll be counted on this, but if you hit no, you don't get counted.
Oh,
so there is that. There is that. However, that was
the same.
Did you
guys put yes or no?
I did yes. Like, I don't care if they.
Did you actually read it or you just fucking click?
I clicked yes. Like, I know that it's like you can check your stats and shit online. I don't care if they know, like if they want to collect that kind of shit. I don't care. So I click yes.
I think most people.
Maybe other people will be no. So maybe. But my thing is with Resident Evil 7, it was the same thing, and Resident Evil 7 had a way bigger number. At least has a way bigger number now. I'm not sure how it was after 1 month. I think people are saying it's less.
Did 7 have the same thing where you say yes or no to collecting?
Yes, that was. I think it was the first game that did that shit. I think.
Okay.
At least the first Capcom one that I noticed.
Jeez, I can't even remember if I pressed yes or no on that because like I generally I say no just because like I'm so used to saying no when those kind of messages come up because I don't want like emails and stuff and like notifications and all that kind of stuff. So that's usually just my tendency is just to press no automatically when anything says yes or no for like database kind of stuff, even though this wouldn't be. Yeah. I mean, it has nothing to do with emailing and that kind of stuff, but I just do it just force a habit. I say no.
Tsuki says, again, this is about what we have to look forward to, not what we got already. Gotta always have that carrot dangling. No, I agree. But we do have stuff to look forward to as well. Just that Sony won't promote Aces of Thunder, Phasmophobia, Vertigo, and what did we just say as well? Oh, Lo-Fi. So those are Vertigo. 4.
Ghost of Tabor,
yes. 5 solid titles.
Yeah. I guess I'm thinking about it because I already have that on the PC. But yeah, Ghost of Tabor.
Contractors Showdown. Phasmo. I put that there too. It's a battle royale.
No.
It's a battle royale, and we need one.
Number one game you should expect. I told you it was Phasmo then Breachers. Breachers is out. It's gonna be Phasmo and maybe Ghost of Tabor. Ghost of Tabor still needs work, I feel like, in order for people to. But even now it's fun, dude. It's just all the VR mechanics is really fun. So we do have some, but some big ones like this Resident Evil. I mean, maybe they're gonna do another Resident Evil VR one, but I'm not really that excited for what's coming. I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, in terms of AAA stuff, because even
even
Aces of Thunder might not be like AAA. Would you call it? It could be AA. I don't know. Tsuki says, may have a bunch like me that own Resident Evil 4 remake and still procrastinate and wait a while to get it, like you two bitches.
I have so many games that I still have to finish.
I'm excited to play it. I'm really excited to play it, but as I can't.
I am scared.
That's why I'm playing. I'm playing Horizon Call of the Mountain. I wanted to finally get that one out of the way. Then I have maybe like another 2 games. I played Red Matter. I wanted to get that one done. Not as good as the second one. Still good, but second one just made so many better improvements for stuff. So, but they were good games.
Okay.
Really good.
Yeah. Well, at least you still had that to look forward to. You know, it's an amazing game.
Yeah.
I gotta play Resident Evil 7 still, bitch.
You keep saying that though. What are you gonna do? What do you got going on? What have you got going?
Halloween for Halloween.
Halloween? You gotta wait for Halloween? Jesus.
I'm gonna stream once a year.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Donnie says the wind and rain has slowed, but the sirens are prevalent. I'm glad to see that you have survived, Donnie. Although those sirens must be creepy. Are they like the ones in the movies where it's like
Silent Hill? He lives
Silent Hill.
He lives in Silent Hill.
Man, they give me the shits. Those ones. I don't know what it is. I'm sure they're designed to do that.
The slow rev up ones that are like
get
louder and louder.
Vibrates your colon.
The famous brown nose. Tsuki says, but I'm talking AAA and Sony AAA stuff, the things that get casuals' attention. Yeah, Sony, obviously there needs to be, but my only saving grace with that is that Sony haven't done anything like that with their flat shit either for PS5. Like, obviously there's Wolverine, but then there's like, nobody knows about anything else. So that makes me think that they might have PSVR 2 stuff as well, that you're just not talking about it because they don't want to talk about anything ever. Tsuki says, things mentioned get the loyal viewer player's attention. And Donnie says, Ghost of Tabor is a game you have to be into as well, but it should be alive to drawn in people as well. I think I get somewhat of the gist of what you mean by that, Donnie. In terms of like a game you got to be like dedicate time to. Is that what you mean? Tsuki says, I wait a while to play, then fully invest all my time into it. Siren Head, yeah. Coming for Donnie. Oh, not just that. Police, fire trucks, and ambulance sirens. Okay, I thought you meant like the tornado warning sirens. Good Vibes Viewer, how you doing? Nice to see you. Well, lol, any Unreal Engine game could have a viewer mode, lol. That's true, and we're going to talk about that. Not next, but soon. We're done talking about Resident Evil 4. Let's move on to Phasmophobia, seeing as we were bringing that up there briefly. Battery on my phone is going to die soon. So, we know Phasmophobia was supposed to come out in August. It got delayed. It was supposed to come out in October. Got delayed. And then they're like, basically, we're going to have it done when it's ready. So stop asking us, bitches.
February.
They put out a roadmap for 2024. So they've updated the roadmap. So they already had a roadmap. Now with this update, they've removed all the dates. So they're like, well, we can't commit to anything unless we know 100%. So we're not giving you dates anymore. The console release, they said, will be out when it's ready. But there was one clue that they gave us. So I'm going to read a quote out. So they said, with the delay comes extra changes for console players on day one. The new and improved upcoming shop experience, the upcoming adjustments to the leveling and equipment tiers, as well as minor balance changes. This will all result in console players getting the best experience as soon as they receive the game, instead of large portions of gameplay and progression changing just after it releases. So we know the console version won't come out until that other shit comes out for the other versions. So they're going to have like a shop overhaul. I think they're calling it version 1 or something. So after that is when the console shit's going to drop. I think. Or maybe it might drop the same time. If we're lucky.
When does that come out?
Don't know. They had an update come out today, actually, that improved lighting. So they've like global illumination, all this kind of stuff they've added. And that was part of one of the things they want to have before the console comes out. But I think the shop one is the big one. When that comes out, I'm going to be on high alert for that console release.
Yeah, I haven't played that game in a while. We need to play it more often.
Yeah, you haven't played it in like months now.
Yeah, but you're saving yourself.
Yeah,
you're saving yourself for the best version.
I'm saving myself.
There you go.
I don't know if it... Yeah, I guess the best version probably. Yeah, because of the feedback on the controllers.
But you should
mainly.
You should look at that roadmap, because like they got the very end of the roadmap is like Horror 2.0. And it's like they're overhauling how hunting works, and I'm hoping that means they add like not just the thing you're always complaining about, it's just the fingers at the end. So maybe they'll do other like events and shit. But yeah. Where was
Keep on waiting.
Keep
on waiting.
Yeah.
Sucks for you bitches.
It does. Sucks for you too, though, because you're waiting for us. Still playing through Resident Evil.
I don't give a fuck about playing with you.
Yes, you
I like
do.
to play with Muzz. I miss playing with Muzz. I wish I could play with Muzz. I'll be fun as fuck.
Lies.
With you, not really. It's just you nagging all day.
If you ever want to know what his lion face looks like, look at him right now. Look at him right now.
Everybody knows.
LSP, is this your first time playing through it on the Quest? LSP? Donnie says Phasmo, more like Phasno. Damn. Says new release date equals eventually. Good Vibes says hybrid VR games could just be the way of the future. You're getting ahead of me by one topic. Just give me a second, I'll get there. So Phasmo devs are going to patch the game before we get the game. It sounds like, yeah. With games maybe having quest ports or spin-offs. And Tasuki says, end of the roadmap and the Horror 2.0 is when they let us all know it's cancelled for PSVR 2. The scariest thing ever. Well, there you go. And Good Vibes has got The Quarry running in VR. All right, we'll talk about Unreal Engine. We'll talk about it. All right, we can't talk about Phasmophobia anymore.
What is this Unreal Engine thing you speak of?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
I have not heard of such a thing.
Shit, Jack, Jack, have you got this? Have you been messing around with this? You got a PC viewer?
A little bit. I messed a little bit. Yeah, I messed a little bit with it.
Can you? Well, you go into it though, Saul, because you're the man with the knowledge about this. I've got notes there in the document if you need help.
Well, I barely fuck with it, but basically it's a mod that it's free and it's extremely easy to use, install, download. It's basically you download a zip file, and there's a folder, and then one of the files is just the program, right? All you do is you load a game. Let's say the fucking whatever. That game with the Hogwarts Legacy, which is most people are doing the Harry Potter game. And then as soon as you load the game, you have your Quest on or your PCVR, whatever the fuck, and then you open this program, and then all you have to do is select on the list of games, which immediately is going to only show the game, it detects the game that you're playing, right? It's going to say fucking Harry Potter, whatever, and you click inject, and immediately it's going to just send you into VR. The first game that I tried, it was Alien... Fuck, the Alien game that is
Colonial
Hentai
Marines, I think.
No, not Colonial Marines. It's like top and down view. It's like the newest Alien game.
Yeah, the strategy
one.
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
As soon as you load it, it gives you like a standard base, like a camera angle. And immediately you know, when you play games in flat and then it's in VR, you're like, fuck. Like I went like, holy shit, this is fucking sick. And that was just the basic settings that it has. You can fuck with it. The camera angle, you can make it closer, zoom in, angle up, down. And then you can also kind of like, it remind me of Dreams. I haven't fucked with this yet. But if you wanted to, you can make games that are third person, first person. You just have to move the camera or attach the camera to the puppet or the whatever character. There's ways to, depending how much time you want to invest on this.
You can remove the head as well, like, can't you? To like, so you don't have to see the head.
Basically the game puts you in VR and then you can select however camera you want to. But the cool thing about this is that people can save the profiles, right, for games. So let's say I want to play Returnal, right? But I want to do it in first person, in VR first person. And people are going to have the settings profile for that game in first person, and they're going to load it up to like the cloud or whatever, and you're going to be able to search people's profiles.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is a profile that people have the most likes, so this is the most, like, the best one. And you just load it on your fucking computer really easily. It's just a file. And then that way you don't have to mess with the settings. That's the cool part. And people people in general, they're fucking geniuses, dude. They do this stuff really, really quick. I tried that game. I tried Sifu, which that game I already liked before, but dude, in VR, fuck, dude, it's really, really cool. You'll be surprised. There's a lot of Unreal Engine games that are supported. There's a lot of games that are not, they don't work as well, but they are constantly updating this, the software, right, to make more games work. But it's honestly, it's like, games. Well, I mean, it's 11,000 games, but but that's, I mean,
obviously not all.
You have to have it.
Yeah.
You have to have a pretty good computer too. Like, I don't know what you got, Jackpot.
Yes, but no, Muzz, because this is the thing that when we talk about the space warp and the DLSS and the FSR, whatever, which is whatever, I don't even know exactly what it is, but basically it makes you older computers. You can run games at a faster frames per second, right? So this
you'll lose some of the image, obviously. Like, they're not going to.
Yeah, but most people. Graphics. Yeah, but honestly, Muzz and the computer, at least for me, some people tell me if I'm wrong, and I'm probably wrong. But when I change the settings on a game in VR, like Half-Life, and I put it on like low settings or medium settings, and I put it on the highest, it doesn't really make that much difference compared to the flat games, in my opinion. And actually, when you start these games on this Unreal, on this Prey Dog mod, they recommend you to start it before you inject the mod. They recommend you to lower the settings as much as the game allows you, and then from there you start tinkering up based on your computer settings how much. But you don't need a beefy computer now. You can't use a computer from like 50 years ago, right? But you will be surprised on what computer you need based on this new technology with the DLSS and all of that. If your graphics card can do that, then you are pretty set. Because even I think LSB has a pretty nice card. I think he has a 3060. But even him and Decepticon has like a little bit older one, and he can still run the games fine. I can guarantee you. Now we're talking about most games. Now, if you all the new games are gonna come out that are really demanding, then maybe that we're gonna start having issues with like really older computers. But like I said, you'll be surprised. You don't need a fancy. I have a 4070, which I really like, and I don't have any issues. But I still play the games in low. But it honestly, dude, it's really fucking cool. It's not like, yeah, it's cool. It's like any other mod. Like it fucking makes every fucking game that you have Unreal for the most part in VR, and it just changes the whole fucking game. Now, not only that, you have the ability to download the profiles that people will upload for you. It just makes things even easier. And the more time it goes by, the more games are going to be compatible. I tried the Batman games, Arkham City or whatever, and I couldn't get it to work. But I can't wait for those games to work. But people have been messing around.
Aliens Fire Team Elite. Thanks, Gyson. That's what.
Yeah, and it's a good game. Do that. It's a good game.
Yeah,
so yeah, it is fucking awesome.
I would really like to see those like top-down view games in VR. Like, I think those would be cool to see. Like, I've always wanted to have like a I don't think Diablo's in Unreal, is it?
Nope, no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, that's too bad, because I always thought Diablo would be perfect to like play in VR, because you have that like top-down view, and then you can like lean down and like look at the models closer, like by like going way down into the ground kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, in this game you can zoom in with the already with because you play. Well, yeah, I guess you can even play with, which it wouldn't make sense for this game, but you play with the controller, right? And with the controller in the game, you can kind of zoom in the camera a little bit in and out, right? So it's cool because I put it when you zoom in all the way in, you're literally on the characters' faces. So now it's cool because I used to play it on the Steam Deck, and I see the little fucking aliens in here, and now I'm like, the fucking thing is right in front of me. So it's really cool. Like, if you have a PC and you think you can run it, which most people can, give it a try. It's very simple. A lot of people think it's very complicated. It's very, very, very simple to install. It's just literally download a file, zip file, and then in there it's the program. And there's plenty of videos, not only from the people that make the mod, a lot of YouTubers that show you tutorials for people with me that have smooth brains of how to make it work.
There's obviously some caveats that go with it. Like, you can't get like the actual like gun real like move all the motion stuff down right in the games, right? Like you can't like automatically make it so you can pick everything up
interactable
and, like,
objects or shit like that. Like you might
you can't.
And then
it's not.
It doesn't program that kind of stuff.
Right. No. Like, you can have like motion controls, right? Like, if you like the RoboCop game, right? There's the people are playing that a lot. The RoboCop game is a first-person shooter, I think. And you can play with the controller, but also you can have motion controls, right? So you move and the gun moves like that. But you can't create VR mechanics in the game that it's not there. It's just the camera and the move, the actual aiming and shooting, all that type of stuff. Which it would be cooler if you can do other stuff. But dude, trust me, it's a big deal. Like,
that's enough.
Even as soon as you I boot up, I first try the Alien game because I play like that. And I was like, like, how is this shit gonna look? As soon as I boot, I was like, holy fuck, like this is awesome. And then I tried Sifu, and I was like, oh fuck, dude, this, like, it really is sick. Yeah.
Cool. How many shooting games did you try? Like, how did the shooting mechanics feel? Like, does it feel like it's like just like a normal shooter, or does it kind of feel a little janky because it's not like meant to be that way? Like,
I have not tried a single shooter game. I've only tried. I barely fuck with it. Yeah, I need to fuck with it more. I've only tried. I was actually
just try one of the shooters.
Yeah, I'm gonna try one of the shooters to see how it feels. But I'm gonna try with the motion control and Did
you try?
But people, for the most part, no, I fucking don't have Return on PC. Why would I buy it? I have it on the PS5. Okay. But it's early, right? And people are already like I said, just booting it up and having it in VR, it just makes it worth it. But with time, people tinkering these settings and making it perfect for the different camera angles and the movement and all that, that's what I'm excited for, because it just came out and people are already putting a lot of work into it. So like I said, this shit is just awesome. Like I said, for VR in general, because I know you guys say a lot like, oh, I agree with you guys. Oh, I don't like the bootleg version of the VR. I want the official. I agree. But if we can't have that, like, we'll never get that. Alien game is never gonna be in VR because it doesn't make any fucking sense in being VR. But it's awesome in VR.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So
But
that's why
it's
I think
just so
cool.
weird. It's so weird that like it makes it seem so easy. Like this like Prey Dog, he made this mod that just simply like works for every Unreal game. Yeah, it's just like it's just simply programmed to like automatically put you in VR. So if this guy can do it, you can't tell me like a big company like Sony can't figure this shit out and like get this same kind of deal working for all of their backlog of Sony games that people want to play in VR.
How simple it is. It's crazy. It's nothing, because we remember back in the day, I don't know if you guys used to hack your fucking PSPs or whatever. It was a fucking pain in there. Like you were intimidated by the fucking steps. This is the easiest shit you can even it's harder to install a fucking PC game than doing this.
Okay, like I don't know exactly what goes into making these kind of things, honestly. But like the fact that if Prey Dog can do it, I'm sure Sony can. But it's like, why are they scared to do this? Like, what is Sony not doing it? Like, why wouldn't they do it? Like, if they had the capability of doing the same thing and make it like open up any PlayStation exclusive game, like going back to Killzone, Resistance, all those kind of games.
This isn't something that they could, like, they wouldn't be able to develop because all their engines are different, so they wouldn't be able to do like just boom. Now all the PlayStation game works. They need to hire a Prey Dog type person to do it game by game or whatever.
Right.
But like, there could be like an Aussie Dog one, like all the Aussie Dog games, they'd all be running on the same engine, so you could probably make one for those games, and you know.
You'd have to make a mod for every engine.
Yeah.
Every game engine would have to have like its own kind of like structured thing made.
But I want to take this opportunity to just, I know I'm skipping ahead to the fax machine, but because it relates to this, I want to read out a fax question we got from Jedi Knight. He says, interested to hear your thoughts on this Unreal Engine VR injector that has just released for PC. Good or bad for VR in general? Will flat devs be even more or less inclined to develop their games for PC VR than port to PSVR 2 if PC users can make their own VR version for free? So he's talking about what's the implications of this? Is this a good thing overall? Is it a bad thing? Is it going to affect how developers approach things?
I don't think it's going to affect the developers because the Unreal Engine 5 and 4, it's not every game. A lot of games have their own engines. I was surprised. I was like, oh man, I'm going to be able to play all my fucking library. And then I opened my Steam. I was like, oh fuck. Only 3 games are actually Unreal Engine. Okay, you know what I mean? So I don't think that's going to be an issue.
I think it's good for VR for selling the headsets. Like, I think a lot of headsets will probably get picked up because of this. Like, knowing that you can play all of these Unreal Engine games, like especially if it is like as easy to use as you say, and like a very less hassle for people to get into these games and start just playing in them in VR.
Not a super demanding PC either in order to run a lot of these games. So
yeah, so I think in terms of moving headsets, I think it's a good thing. But on what he was saying, like about game developers being like, who cares if I release my game because everyone can just make it. Mm-hmm. That's a tough one because like it doesn't relate to PlayStation. So like,
but it's only Unreal Engine though. So
my hope is that. Sorry, Jackpot, go on. I thought you were finished.
No, I was just gonna say it's not a lot of games are not a lot of fucking good games are not Unreal Engine. They have their own engine. So I don't think developers will be if most games were Unreal Engine, I'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah. Because why the fuck would they do it? They're just gonna use a mod. But there's a lot of games. The majority of, unless a majority, but a lot of good chunk of games are not Unreal.
This is also just the start of this. Like obviously, like it's not gonna stop with just this one mod for Unreal games, but
God, I hope not. I hope we can fucking mod every fucking other engine, engine. That'll be cool.
But my hope is that this sparks like a bit of a renaissance for PC VR. All of us, like maybe, let's say there's, 11,000 games. Not all of them are going to be like working
Perfect.
as well as you would hope. But surely there's one of them there, and maybe it hasn't even been discovered yet. There's a game out there that when you play it in VR, it's fucking amazing. And PewDiePie streams us, Jacksepticeye, all these dickheads stream us, and then everyone's buying headsets again. And then Sony are looking at us and they're like, oh, holy shit. That was a flat game. All they did was mod us, and maybe we should be getting onto this, and like it might snowball that way. That's like the best case scenario that I can think of. But at the very least, it's going to boost interest on PC VR, and that's
word of
good
mouth.
for
I mean,
everyone.
word of mouth is just going to get around about this way that you can play all these games suddenly in VR that weren't playable.
But I'm really hoping there's like one big Unreal Engine game that's there that like when you play it in VR, it's like, oh shit, this is a game changer. This is like, you need to try this and you need to get this mod,
Yeah.
When it's getting cheaper, PCVR, to get a PCVR, it's getting cheaper with time, especially with all this software with the frame generation, whatever it's called, the DLSS and all that. It's getting a lot. Before, I remember when I wanted to get into VR, I had to switch my Xbox to PlayStation because that was my cheaper option to get a PSVR 1. And because PCs, I think before, to get one that ran VR back in the day, you needed like 2,000 or more.
When you got the Oculus Rift and the Vive and all those like
right, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah, I feel like now like $2,000 to get in. It's like
right, $2,000 or just maybe for the PC, and then another $700 for the headset. Now you spend $250 and you get a Quest and you get a $50 gift card, and you can get a PC that runs PCVR games probably for like $800, $900. And that runs also a lot of this stuff. It's not gonna last you 5, 6, 7 years and run all the latest and greatest, but you can get into VR for a lot cheaper. And like I said, the more time it goes by, the better, because this older graphics cards are going to be able to take advantage of the new technology that can just do the frame generation or whatever the fuck it's called.
What engine does Fortnite run on? Someone needs to make a mod.
That's Unreal.
It's Unreal.
It is? Does Fortnite? Can you play Fortnite in VR?
I think people have been playing Fortnite in VR already.
Are you serious?
Is it because maybe you can't do it in online games because it might detect
and not
that as
online.
cheating?
I think they do in private lobbies. I think some guy did it on the.
I guess it would know when you go to sign on. It would know something's wrong, that you're on a mod. I guess that.
Yeah, I guess you get banned if you try to do any type of like inject any type of shit or whatever they call it. I don't know.
Of course you would.
Let me try and catch up on some comments. Shane Humberstone, how you doing, Shane? Says, good evening. Had a great day today. Won a Quest Pro. Very happy with this.
Damn.
I forgot the Quest Pro existed until you said that. Completely forgot about that thing. Quest 3 came out, so it's like, oh, forget about that other one. Good Vibes says, Law, what is funny is that how you set up the pawn is that basic in Unreal Engine 5. The parts devs may struggle with could be full body inverse kinetics and physics. Lol, this is the dev progression. Resident Evil 7 is a Prey Dog mod on PC, and look where Resident Evil is on PSVR 2. Money and sells with VR, but that can change. LSB says PC VR equals freedom, and Good Vibes back again saying, I think that it could make some dev port their games to Unreal Engine 5. But that'll be difficult, like to just like take your game off one engine and put it onto another one. That's a whole big thing, unless they're already on like an older version of Unreal Engine 4 and then they upgrade it to Unreal Engine 5, which would be easier, I would imagine. They started the car with a PS5 controller, no BS. Yeah, I saw that. Donnie says games still have to be made on the correct engine in the first place to be able to use this mod. This should be able to get more sales as a whole, all around, also all genres. Yeah, I wonder how many, like, is there any soccer games or stuff like that, an Unreal Engine that you
actually, you're right. I wanted to try there's a fucking, not Pro Evolution, but it died.
E-football.
Now it's a new name.
eFootball, is that?
Yeah, I actually have it. that was one game I wanted to try because that's Unreal Engine.
Oh shit, I didn't know that was Unreal.
Yes.
Okay,
interesting. Yeah, because I was like Googling, what fucking games do I have that I can test this shit on? And apparently, if you have Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass on the PC, it also works there. I don't know fucking how, but it works. There's a lot of Unreal Engine games.
You can just download them.
Yeah, I think you download them, but that's also very cool if you have it.
Good Vibe says, or Sony devs can just make their games on Unreal Engine 5 versus building their own for the game. I mean, they could do that with like future, but like the likes of Naughty Dog, they're never gonna swap from the engine they're on now to Unreal Engine 5 because they've like mastered that engine that they have. Like what they're able to do with this is kind of nuts. Good Vibe says no, Fortnite doesn't work due to easy cheese. Yeah, so you go messing with mods, they can detect all that shit. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is Unreal Engine 4. Damn, we can finally play that game in VR now.
I won that game. I won the second game, and I still haven't played it.
You won it.
Yeah, I feel bad because I won it on somebody's channel, and I haven't played it.
What a bitch. Absolute bitch behavior.
I know. I'm sorry. Whoever that was, I'm sorry. I'll play it eventually.
So I think we're all in agreement then that this is good. This is a good thing for VR. I mean,
I think it's a good in general. Yes.
I've seen some.
Even if it's
sorry, Muzz.
Even if it's just for the sake of like being able to have more conversation around VR, like anything that gets people talking about it, like, oh, what can VR do now? Like, oh, you're doing that? Like, you can play all these games. Like, maybe get people like that, or that have like 2 or 3 favorite games that are all happen to be an Unreal Engine, and now they are tempted to pick up a VR headset because now I can play them in VR.
I've seen one VR developer, at least he's a former VR developer, I can't remember his name, but it was like a big thing on Twitter not too long ago, and he was basically saying that this is it could be potentially a bad thing because let's say it's your first experience with VR, you jump into one of these injector mods and there's nothing's been set up for comfort. You're thrown into God knows what kind of what's going to happen when you go
Nobody's gonna jump into the fucking and download all this shit.
Relax. You don't know
for
that.
The first
you
time.
don't know that. It could be a friend showing it to somebody else on their setup. It's like, come on, check out Returnal.
Well, then that's not
you
that
love
big
Returnal
of a
on
deal.
PS5.
No.
Check it out on my setup here, and then he pukes all over himself.
That's
never plays it again. Hates us.
People are gonna play for the first people that play VR. They're gonna jump and buy the fucking Beat Saber, buy the Planks fucking experience shit. Good dog, bad dog, and then eventually they're like, man, what else can I play after I play already? Oh fuck, let me try that fucking mod and VR shit.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
If you say so, I'm just saying that there's potential that if that's somebody's first experience, it might not be a good one. But yeah, overall I agree it's a good thing. All right, moving on to the next topic, and it's our last topic as well before we hit the fax machine. Walkabout Mini Golf is getting a new course on the 18th of January, and it is themed on Around the World in 60 Days, which is another one of them Jules Verne novels or whatever. The other one was like Journey to the Center of the World, I think, that already came out. There might be another one after this.
Wonder what countries are gonna show besides France.
You think they'll go through all different ones?
Should be.
It's around the world in 80 days. What do you think that's gonna put France all over, you dummy?
Eiffel Tower, and then what? Let's see.
Probably the
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh yeah, statues of Africa.
They're gonna put
pyramids,
Egypt.
Pyramids.
African. Egypt.
Colosseum.
Maybe the Colosseum and some Italy shit.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah, all Italy. Pizzas, just pizzas all over the floor.
Pizzas all over the floor. This game is one of my favorite games.
LSB says motion sickness is an urban myth. I'm afraid it's not. I think we like it. Well, according to some developers, people like us who don't feel motion sick are like a rare breed. The vast majority of people are getting sick. And in fairness, I put my girlfriend into it anytime. Well, my fiance, I should say. Anytime she can't do anything for the rest of the day. Like so. Yeah,
I had Amanda try No Man's Sky because she does like No Man's Sky on flat. So I told her to just look at your ship in VR, and she was like walking around, and she was like, it doesn't feel right. It's like, oh man,
you're getting a divorce.
Yeah. It's in the contract. You need to not have motion sickness.
The last of the 3 Jules Verne, says Donnie. Also, there was 2 already. Tasuki says new map on the same day Bulletstorm VR drops. That's true. It'll be around the world. Motion sickness is real. Ever been in the ocean in a small boat without Dramamine?
Dramamine, bitch.
Dramamine? I don't know what the fuck that is. All right. Over here, we don't memorize different medications over here, okay?
Yeah, because you guys don't have you never go to the ocean? You never go
We're
fishing?
usually surrounded by the ocean, but
Right, that's what I'm saying. You never go fishing.
no, why would I?
If you go fishing,
We have
and you're outside,
supermarkets. You can buy fish in the supermarket.
I know we can buy fish too, bitch, but it's for
No, you
fun.
can't.
You go out
No,
there
you
for
can't.
fun, and you go and
Doesn't
fish,
sound
and you
fun.
get
You
dizzy.
need to take Dramamine to have fun. Doesn't sound like you're having fun.
No, you idiot! It's because like, you get dizzy. God, I don't. Why
Are
am
you
I even
saying you
explaining
can
it?
take Dramamine? Can
Next.
Dramamine be used for VR? Can that work for VR people, like the ones who get sick?
Ooh, fuck! If
Would
for the
Is
first
it
time you said
approved?
motion
something that
sick
maybe makes
would
it
motion
might
sickness
work.
would motion sickness on water be like, I guess, translate to
I don't know.
motion sickness in VR? I don't know
Maybe
if that's
Maybe it's a
because
different type.
because the
different
motion sickness when you're in the water, it makes you
because the
want to barf. You know that type of
well,
sickness, like
and you're
like I just
also
want to barf.
it's also different because when you're on a boat, you're actually like feeling the movement, like
Yeah,
you're actually
there is
moving.
movement.
Where VR, you're not actually moving; it's your brain like messing up because you're not moving
So it's a reverse.
and you're moving.
It's a
In the, yeah,
reverse
it's
type
a
of sickness.
But it
I
still
don't know
gets
if it
your
would be the same.
nostrils.
Yeah.
Try it. Tell Amanda to get some pills.
Uh,
They're over the counter.
Sure. I'll
take
use her
these
as the
pills.
guinea pig.
Just
to see if it
No, but
sneak
works.
them into her
sometimes
drink. Sneak them into her drink.
they even give it to like little kids when they are like if you go on road trips and they get sick in the car, like car sick,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you also give them that shit.
it's all the same thing, I guess. Then,
Anyways.
as Donnie is saying. Okay, that's all I want to say in terms of topics. So we'll just go to the fax machine. Let me boot up that intro, and hopefully my phone has enough battery to read the fax.
It's that time again for questions and
I'll
topics
read 'em.
submitted by our viewers.
I say my phone
So
has
let's
enough
go
intro
to our
to read
fax
the
machine and see what we have. Fax me harder, Daddy. I've been a bad boy.
You want to read them, Jackpot? You start at PPO. He's the first one.
Read the fax machine. First
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Oh, my butt hurts.
Wow. What have you been doing?
Sitting.
Fax machine. First
Oh, God. Great start. We're off to a great start here.
the first question from the fax machine was from Peepo.
PPO.
Is that the first one?
PPO Kojima.
Thoughts on the Unreal Engine 5 Honda Care? Sony kept creaming about CES. I didn't see that. Was that the one that you were showing?
That was in the video.
Yeah,
that was being played.
they had a controller in there. Where the fuck would they have
He
a
was
controller?
controlling the
Can you drive
car.
over there?
He was driving the car with the controller. A dual sense.
Where the
That's
fuck would
not-
you?
That's not impressive to me. Like, show me him on the highway, looking in the back seat, controlling the car, like behind him, driving on a highway. Then I'll be impressed. But
The
driving a
cameras.
car, yeah, just a car rolling out slowly onto a stage and like doing a slow turn. This is like, oh yeah.
I have to be honest. I have to be honest with you though. I don't know. I didn't watch it detailed enough to understand what the Unreal engine implementation is about there. Like what about that car is using Unreal Engine? You know, I don't understand that.
I don't either.
Maybe he'll tell us right now.
I don't know.
Is he not here, PPO? PPO's not here.
No, he's not here.
I didn't watch that whole thing, so I don't know what they talked about.
Reacting to its lack of understanding of the body's position and its movements. And Good Vibes says, "Bro, started the car, bro." Is that what it did? Is that all the Unreal Engine did? Is start the car?
And he slowly drove it out. It did. He did control it to drive it out, but it was going slow.
All right,
So I don't know.
understandable. He was indoors.
Nah, he should have revved it. He should have. He should have done donuts.
Speed
Donuts
boost.
on the stage.
Hit the NOS. Hit circle for the NOS. Go.
Accidentally like slips and hits the donut. Goes right into the crowd.
Good Vibe says the car is running on Unreal Engine 5.3, but what does that mean? How can a car run on a software engine?
Good question.
I don't understand this. Anyway, Jackpot, next question.
It's from Pete, the reptile.
IPs.
Do any of you have any tattoos? If so, what are they? Damn, are you gonna show him your tramp stamp pumpkins?
My body's a temple. I wouldn't defile it with a tattoo.
I don't have any tattoos just because I'm too indecisive and I could never ultimately come down to like one single thing that I would like to permanently have.
Damn.
Because my
Old
mind
man
changed.
Muzz, when he's 80 years old, is like, oh, I gotta pick one.
I'm so indecisive.
I just can't imagine like choosing something and like 10 years from now, still like look back and be like, yeah, I'm so glad I have this like tattoo.
You're never gonna do that, Muzz. Everybody's gonna regret almost every tattoo song that says your kids' names or some shit like that, your dogs. Every tattoo, in my opinion, at least mine, they're fucking stupid, and I regret it.
You have
oh
them?
well.
What do you have?
I have a few.
What one do you regret? What do you regret?
The little dolphin that he has on his ankle.
my little fucking butterfly, my tramp stamp on my hip. No, I don't know.
I
It's
was
just
serious for a second.
No, I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's not like I regret him, but it's just like it's like not I don't know. Not that big of a deal. I don't like regret it, but it's like you must in the future I'm gonna be like, oh man, that's great. Look at my tattoos. It's like I forget that I have them, you know?
Do you hide? I guess if you're going to the swimming pool, would you be self-conscious about like them showing off? Like, would you?
Fuck no, I don't give a fuck. I don't have no fucking Nazis tattoo. Why would I be fucking afraid of
I didn't say
self-conscious?
anything
It's
about
just
that.
a fucking fish.
It might be something cringe.
No, but why would
a
I
fish?
care?
You got a fish?
I got a fish, baby.
You got a fish?
I got a koi fish.
A koi fish?
I don't even know if you can see it, but a koi fish.
Oh, you got a sleeve.
Ah,
Is
yeah,
that it?
that's
No, it's
different.
not.
That's like, is that like Japanese style? I can't really tell.
You can't read, and there's no letters. Hold on.
I didn't say read. I said
Hold on.
tell.
The camera's like five years later delayed. It's back. It's
Okay,
backward.
I see Captain America holding a shield. That's what I can see from here.
No. No, I don't hide them. I don't really give a fuck. I don't go to the pool much either way. But no, I don't know. I just forget I have them. It's not really that.
Okay, so you don't really regret any. It's like, if you could undo any of them, would it be the koi one, or is there another one you'd want to get rid of?
Well, I have one on my, what is it, my thigh, I guess.
Ooh.
It's not finished. It hurt like a beat. The part, the meaty part. Yeah. No, it's the calf.
Your
Sorry,
calf.
the calf.
Your leg.
Is it the calf? Yeah, the bottom part, right?
The bottom? Okay, that's the calf. That's the calf. Yeah, the thigh is
Not my
okay.
thigh, bitch.
That's not your thigh.
It hurt. No. So yeah, my calf. I have a unfinished. What do you call it? Like a Anubis, fucking
Okay.
character thing. That's what I'll
Like that's
probably
the cross
take.
with the
Nobody
loop
sees
on
this
top,
fucker.
or do you mean like the actual god?
No, the actual god, like the god, the dog,
The
half
dog head thing. Okay.
human.
Okay.
The pharaoh kind of looking thing.
The pharaoh looking thing. Yeah, that's what I have. It's half finished. And
How long's it been
heard
half
it.
finished for? Are you gonna go back, or what's the plan?
fuck
first?
no.
You gonna leave it like this?
Fuck yeah. What would I don't want to spend no more money on tattoos. That's fuck. No,
But
they're
does
expensive.
it not look like just half done though? Is it just not colored in?
Of course
or
it
what's-
looks half done, but who's gonna look at my fucking calf, bitch? Nobody.
I suppose that's true. Nobody's gonna be looking at you. Nobody's
And I don't
gonna be
give a
looking at you.
fuck. Nobody cares, and I don't care. Let's say if I go to the beach, I
Poor
walk to
Amanda
the
has to
beach.
see us.
Yeah, she told me what else to do.
That half done Anubis every day. Look at that.
She makes you sleep facing her, so she doesn't have to see that shady tattoo on her calf again.
Yeah.
All right. Next. Is there any more?
Yes, there's a bunch more.
Nothing.
They're asking you, when is your wedding day?
Don't know. No days.
Damn, you're just dragging it along. Oh, yeah,
That's
let's
her
get married,
business.
but
That's
then
her
20
business.
years.
I did my part. Now she can do all the organizing, and I think she's thinking 2025, but I don't know if we can get it that fast. So
That fast?
yeah,
The fuck? Said 2 years?
we have to
What are you
fix shit. We
planning?
still have to fix the roof. She's talking about a patio in the garden and all this kind of shit. I'm like, well, how are we going to pay for this wedding? Like, you know. Anyway,
Well, how many people are you trying to have? 100 people.
Doing the big
Invite
wedding.
all- the
Irish
whole
weddings are
Ireland.
big. Irish weddings are big.
Irish wedding, big.
Really?
Yeah. So like,
You know what I say about those big weddings? I was like, you motherfuckers never care about me. All you care is about free food coming here today. So I'm only inviting my mom, my dad, and my close family. Everybody else can fuck off. And I'm getting some cheap tacos.
damn, you've planned your
And
wedding
I save
already?
money.
We had a
No,
small
but
wedding.
that's what I'm saying. I'll spend my money. Of my wedding instead of feeding all these dumb fucks that don't care about me except when I get married. I'll go on my honeymoon. I'll go on a fat ass trip.
Yeah, but when you get
know?
like my sister, for example, she had like a big wedding and she made a profit because of the amount of people giving cash gifts You know, so
Oh my god.
you gotta be thinking financially, Jack Boy. You know,
Yeah, I guess.
how you gonna pay
I
for that
guess,
honeymoon?
yeah.
You gotta pay for that honeymoon somehow. Anyway,
Right, you pay for it instead of having a wedding. Anyways, congratulations. 2025. Invite me. I won't go, but just invite me so I don't feel bad.
He just wants the invitation to put on his wall.
Yeah, so I don't feel bad. Next question was Jedi Knight about the
yeah, we read
injection
that. I read
shit.
that already. Yeah.
And then
It's a good
Donnie.
question, though. It's a good question.
He says about you the wedding date. Regardless, we'll be able to join since they'll be in rec room.
Yeah, it's a rec room wedding, but you still gotta pay. You
saving
still
the
gotta
money.
pay the cash, cash, fucking envelopes. Even though it's virtual money.
Tasuki says,
Virtual
when
food.
do you think Sony will reveal the next big holy crap PSVR 2 game?
I'm hoping before the 1 year mark of PlayStation VR 2, but we're getting really close now. So actually,
What is that game though? What could be that game?
I don't know.
Realistically, don't say fucking Gran Turismo, pumpkin.
Well, why would I say that when that's already out?
Because every time Gran Turismo, fucking GTA, whatever.
Oh yeah, no, it has to be
GTA.
GTA. GTA is the big one.
I know, but that's not. Oh, GTA.
But Sony,
really.
like, I don't think
GTA.
Sony wouldn't announce that. I don't think anyway. But sorry, go on.
Some people are playing San Andreas, the old school version on the VR.
Yeah, I
mod.
saw that. It looks janky as hell, though. But I
Of
mean,
course, yeah.
But
Yeah.
still open
Yeah,
world, which would be cool.
Yeah,
But
I don't
think
know.
it's-
I don't know what game.
Jesus, what game?
it also looks really dated at this point. Like I was watching
yeah.
them play it.
Like,
It looks
Fucking
pretty rough.
blocky ass characters.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the definitive
it's cool
edition,
in
by the
theory,
way. Like they remade
Yeah,
that to look like that.
but even still, it just doesn't look that great nowadays.
Sony have got like to answer Tsuki's question. They've got like a marketing deal going on with Silent Hill 2 remake. So if they could get PSVR 2 support into that, that'd be sick as hell. Even though it's another horror game, they should probably not do another horror one. But you know, they need
Yeah,
they need
too
something
many
else,
horror.
a big shooter. They need a Killzone or
Battlefield,
Battlefield.
not
or
gonna happen.
something like
Not
that.
gonna happen. But
But also, was
I don't-
Suzuki's question, was it specifically a Sony game? Like, did he say PlayStation, like first
When
party?
do you think Sony will reveal? I'm assuming because when was Sony will reveal the next?
he's not
big
even
holy
asking
crap
what game it
game?
would be. He just wants to know when they're gonna announce a game,
Well, it
not
has-
even what
okay.
the game is gonna
Well, it
be.
has to be.
Yeah,
in the,
when?
has to be in the first half of this year, and I can't be any more like specific than that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, ideally, I would think it should be before like the hit a 1 year mark on the PlayStation VR 2, which would be like what, February? When did it come out?
like I'm assuming we're allowed to include like third party deals they might have made, like another Resident Evil mode, but obviously not Resident Evil, a different game. Like he would include that as a big, as long as it was AAA, that would count as a big thing. For
Just a
Sony.
big announcement, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you consider a big
Yeah.
announcement for a new
I
game.
just don't see what game. Like
could
what
be any
game?
game.
Even like another but even another Resident Evil.
No,
Is
no,
that a holy crap PSVR 2 game? Like I don't even think we're gonna get any of those.
We might get Resident Evil
know.
2 and 3, the remakes that are already out. Like they might do patches for them, maybe.
Yeah,
Unlikely.
but is that a holy crap?
2 would
PSVR
be
2 game?
2 would be big. 3 is not as good, but 2 is a big deal. But at the same time, we can't just be relying on fucking Resident Evil to carry the headset for the
I know.
whole
That's what I'm
generation.
saying. There's nothing that excites me, to be honest.
But there's a
except
lot of stuff they could
obviously
do.
Phasmophobia and stuff. But
Like if they did like Last of Us, you know, if they did like not
Last of Us would be
Horizon, but
big.
not a spin-off Horizon, like a proper mainline Horizon. You know, where open
You mean an
world and
actual
shit,
game?
like an actual.
Not
no, they're both games.
climbing
They're both
simulator.
games.
Fucking the climb. Buy the climb instead. Save some money. Get a quest.
I mean, what else? They've got a load of shit. They've got a load of shit they could turn into a game. Like they could, and by the way, they could just drop them as like a blog post announcement, you know, randomly and anytime.
Yeah.
But yeah, my answer to that is first half of the year. If they don't have anything big announced by the end of the first half of the year, I mean, you gotta be worried.
I'm already kind of worried.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep getting worse.
It could be Wanderer, Behemoth, Killzone, Assassin's Creed, Nexus. Well, actually, I do expect Assassin's Creed Nexus to come to PSVR 2 at some point. So
I can't imagine it wouldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's coming. They'll probably announce that this year sometime.
Probably gonna be out in a year or 2 year exclusive.
But Behemoths is like already announced, so they could just reveal what it looks like. That wouldn't be. I wouldn't count that as an announcement. You know, the Killzone game. Yeah, that'd be a big one. Roy Schwartz says Wolverine, and I'd love to see it, but Insomniac's plans were
Half-Life.
Yeah, Half-Life, Alex.
Half-Life, I think, will be the more realistic that I think. I don't even know if it's gonna come, but I feel like that will be the one that will be like, holy fuck,
And Valve,
everybody's gonna buy this shit.
like, obviously, Sony are going to want that on, so I assume the ball is in Valve's park as to whether or not that comes to PSVR 2, you know.
Well, yeah.
Plus, like, Valve has always indicated in the past, like, we want as many people playing this as possible who want to play it, and they were kind of hinting that they wanted PSVR to play it, but obviously PSVR 1 wasn't powerful enough to run it, so I don't know what the holdup is, but maybe things have since changed at Valve. I know the certain people have left who worked on Half-Life Alyx, and maybe the big enthusiasm for VR is kind of gone there. I don't know.
I don't know, but wait, the last touching tips we did, Breachers was not out, right? No. Why the fuck didn't you put Breachers in the topic? God damn it, you're such a smooth brain. Why don't we talk about
I know,
Breachers
'cause
at all
I
today?
feel like because I've streamed this, I've made a whole video talking about Breachers and like a 20-minute video. And listen, we can talk about it right now.
Forgive us, guys.
Wait.
No pumpkins.
We didn't have a touching tips since Breachers was there.
I don't think so. I could be
Right,
wrong.
Muzz?
I
He
could be
doesn't want to
wrong.
talk about. He is conspiring
I
with
could have
Dead Identity.
sworn.
Not talk about
This
Breachers.
is not true. This what would you want?
No,
to,
we
what-
haven't
what
talked
to
about
say?
Breachers.
Okay, we'll talk. Well,
No,
I'll make
everybody's
it a
gone.
topic
There's
for
nobody
next
in the
week.
chat
I'll make it
anymore.
a topic for next week. We'll do
All right.
Breachers review. We need time to play it anyway before we can give it a proper review. So give it a month.
You like it. You like it.
I do like it.
It's a good game.
I do like it. It
Don't
is a good
compare it
game.
to
I've never
Firewall.
said it's
Stop
bad.
comparing everything
I've never
to
said it's
Firewall.
bad. I'm not saying anything about Firewall. You're the one
Yes,
you're
every
imagining
day.
this. You're imagining
every
this.
day
It's
in
all
the
on your head.
Discord. Every day in Discord.
I'm
But Firewall this,
simply
but Firewall that.
responding to the constant attacks on Firewall Ultra.
All right,
Anytime
it's just falling
anything is
apart.
mentioned
Everyone
about
just go
Firewall
home.
Ultra, it's
Everyone just go home.
attack.
Stop breaking down.
So you know, you
You
have
see,
to,
Muzz,
you
this
just have
is what
to
I have
fight
to
back.
deal
You
with,
just have to
Muzz.
fight back. All right.
Anyways,
So yeah, that's that. Fax machine done. Topics done. We'll talk about Breachers next episode. All right.
I guess.
Jackbot's going to give us his in-depth impressions on Breachers.
best game ever made.
Not now. Next week.
Okay.
All
Must
right.
be losing it
GG.
because I thought we talked about it already, but I guess I'm.
Because we've
Imagine
streamed
you
it so many times and talked about it so many times on streams and while we were playing it, like so.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, not in an episode of Touch and Tips. So yeah,
All right.
Jackbot's right. He called me out for being
Bitch?
What a bitch as we have, but you always call me a bitch anyway.
For being
Listen.
being a Breachers hater, just leaving it off the
Yeah,
plate.
no
You and
shit,
Dan,
a Firewall shill.
your whole job is to bring Breachers on. For some reason, even though I told you since the beginning, don't compare it
That's
to
true.
Firewall. It's a different
I could
game.
easily not
and it
include
coexist.
this in the votes whenever I want it. If it wins the vote, we play it. I'm happy to play it. I have a good time. I enjoy myself.
Liar.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get over the Quest visuals. I won't lie about that. Okay, it's hard to go from Ultra to that visually. You know.
Just vote for Breachers or Golf tomorrow. When is
Don't
that
tell-
golf course
don't
coming?
tell
Breachers
anyone
tomorrow.
what to do. Don't you tell anyone how to vote.
There's a new update.
Vote for Firewall Ultra tomorrow. Enjoy
Fuck
the new
no.
seasonal
Fuck
updates. New seasonal updates came out, or the season update week has unlocked. You're gonna have a great time. Firewall it is.
All right.
Oh, look at Rogue at
GG
the last
everybody.
second. He hit the fucking bat signal for Breachers, and Rogue has shown up now to defend him. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here.
GG,
Goodbye.
everybody.
GG.
Wash your hands.
What the fuck is
Later.
this?